program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Thank God for another beautiful day. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful show. Montgomery needs a new mayor, folks. And in fact, that's how I begin the show every day. Isn't that right? Troy Carrico here on a Monday. How are you, Troy?
That is correct, sir.
And yeah, so I always begin the show that way. You know, and I've got a verse from 1 John, first letter of John 2:15. Do not love the world or the things in the world. The love of the Father is not in those who love the world. So, as y'all know, each day I begin this local radio show, and we're here in Montgomery, Alabama, I believe. Thank God for another beautiful day. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful show, and Montgomery needs a new mayor. And I just want to explain to the listeners out there why I say this. I say it because it's true. Each day, no matter the heat and humidity outside or the storms raging inside our hearts and minds, should always be met with praise and thanksgiving to the Father Almighty. Each day, no matter how much we are troubled by the things of the world, should forever be met with hope of doing beautiful things, especially in those quiet moments the world refuses to see. And each day, no matter the latest strategies cooked up by our leaders in the name of helping my city achieve its dreams, Montgomery needs a new mayor. The city of Montgomery has many needs, particularly more police, especially more police officers set free to protect Montgomery streets without a cloud of suspicion and, yes, prejudiced accusation hanging over the exercise of their authority. Yet beyond this want of police and trust in public safety, Montgomery does have other needs. Education always needs improvement, and the ongoing bankruptcy of Jackson Hospital shows the city's acute healthcare needs. Though city leaders could say such things are more the responsibility of state and county, they nonetheless remain true needs for the city. Montgomery could need a whole slew of infrastructure improvements, from neighborhoods and housing upgrades to improve city services and facilities. All this I concede. I'd even go as far as to say there's nothing wrong, in theory, with a new expensive amenity, like a $200 million convention center. Though perhaps such a thing is more of a want, of wishful thinking, a field of dreams, perhaps even a Tower of Babel, rather than a true necessity. Yet despite all these and other needs, I still believe top priority, at least in practical politics, should be the city of Montgomery needs a new mayor. Whether Montgomery voters agree or disagree with me, we'll have to wait until next year to find out. In the meantime, why would the city council try to advance $375 million in debt for a speculative long-term project when the question of top leadership is just 1 year out? Furthermore, why would a quote-unquote slim down city council that only has 8 of its 9 statutory members proceed with such a massive bond in its attenuated state? No doubt, if Marsha Johnson was still in her seat, the $375 million would have already passed. Perhaps she should have checked her address was actually in the district she claimed to represent. So, with 18 folks having qualified to fill Johnson's seat in an upcoming special election, and again, a mayoral election just a year away, shouldn't the Council of 8 just wait on maxing out the city's credit card until the people of Montgomery have had a chance to vote? Yes, Montgomery has many needs, from investment to public safety, and particularly a new mayor of all Montgomery, that all Montgomery trust to lead. Yet, I confess, I find myself questioning our priorities beyond the practical day-to-day in politics, not only Montgomery, but nationally and culturally. So much of the political conversation is about material wants and needs, as though we must all genuflect to the gods of growth, image, progress, novelty, and GDP. It's as though we want the fruits of security and prosperity without the roots of Christianity, as though we love the things of this world rather than God the Father Almighty. Yes, I confess this may seem far afield from the practical political day-to-day needs that seem so pressing and real. Yet, in the midst of these worldly squabbles, this question still presses on my heart. Are we building a city to the glory of man, or a city to the glory of God? Are we even asking that question anymore? Or has the question of right worship been segregated to something we only do privately, or just ignore? So while Montgomery City Council answers the question tomorrow night on whether the city needs to take on more debt for some vague dream of prosperity and prestige, I find myself wondering if that's what Montgomery really needs. Montgomery needs a new mayor, top priority in the practical day-to-day. But the city's true top priority should be to thank God for another day's beauty in every word and deed. Welcome into the program. So thank God for another beautiful day. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful show. Montgomery needs a new mayor. How are you doing today?
Outstanding. I had a great weekend. We played I told you well, it's kind of every other week, but kind of about once every 3 weeks, Dungeons and Dragons
Really?
session. Yeah, it's fun, man.
So, like, as people tuned into the show and just looked at us on the camera,
Yeah.
they would not suspect you're the one that does
Yeah.
D&D,
I
and
like
I
it.
have never, ever touched it in my life.
It's fun. It's
fine.
it's
It's
fun.
fine.
Listen,
It's fine.
it's fun. It's just make believe. We don't get out swords and recreate and dress up and stuff and chase. Well,
That's good.
well,
Well, sometimes I'd
well,
imagine
that
it leads to
involves
something like
furry costumes and Robin, but that's different.
Shut up.
I'm just.
It's fine.
We had a good weekend. How was your weekend, sir?
It was good. Very relaxed. Went to church twice.
Yeah.
And, well, I go every day.
Well, I know you do.
So Saturday and Sunday was at the church. But after the Sunday Mass,
Mhm.
I looked on my phone real quick and I saw that the Odyssey, there was a showing at 10 o'clock in the Big D.
Really?
Yeah, so I was out of church at 9 something. I'm like,
Go.
let's go now. And I admit, I hadn't done it in a while. It makes your tummy hurt. I ate a whole large popcorn with too much of the fake butter on it.
Oh yeah.
And I got a
Argentinian
huge,
vegetable
I
oil.
decided on root. I hadn't had root beer in a while.
Man, I love
got
root
a
beer.
huge, large root beer. I'm like,
Really?
Yeah,
How'd that
and-
go down with it?
good. It was tasty.
It's nice.
But I always do. I eat too much of the popcorn before the movie even starts. Anyway, I thought my main takeaway from the Odyssey,
Yeah.
fantastic movie.
Good.
Not like perfect 10 out of 10
Right. Right.
or 5-star, whatever you want to do to rate it. I'd give it like an 8.8. Like I would give it maybe even a 9 on
Okay.
a, like I thought there was I would almost didn't go see it because there's a lot of negative, like he's gone
A lot, of
wokeified.
a lot of negative surrounding it, but you didn't see
But
that.
the woke stuff didn't distract me.
Okay. Okay.
And actually, it played into the way he presented the characters. Now, there's this thought out there that Ellen Page,
Right.
or excuse me, she's calling herself Elliot Page these days,
Yeah.
was playing Achilles. And it's like, no, she plays a character called Synod, which is actually not in Homer's Odyssey, but it
Oh.
is in Dante.
Yeah.
And in the Aeneid,
in
the
the
character
Aeneid,
in the
yep.
Aeneid and in Dante's Inferno, and so Synod is the one who is. And this is the very beginning of the movie, so I'm not spoiling much. It's like within the first minute or two, Synod's dead. He's the one left to guard the Trojan horse,
Right.
and within, boom, dead. And then later, there's and if you know the poem,
I do.
Odysseus goes and has to talk to the dead,
That's right.
goes to the underworld, and he talks to Achilles.
Yep.
So instead of Achilles, Nolan pulled from the Dante tradition,
Interesting.
had him talking to Synod, which is, I thought it worked. There was the other woke casting, Lapita, I'm forgetting her last name. But the way they made Helen was they demystified it completely in the sense of, actually Helen and Clytemnestra, who kills
Right.
Agamemnon, his
That's right.
wife, kills him because he sacrifices their daughter to cross
That's right.
the Aegean. They made them twins,
Interesting.
and when Telemachus meets Helen, half her face has been disfigured after the war, and so the point of it is to say this was just Agamemnon and all these guys using my disloyalty and all this stuff as an excuse. But those are just small parts of the movie. Like it's a 3-hour extravaganza. And I thought the pacing was brilliant. Having read the poem, though it's not exact to the poem, and they take out the whole nobody pun with the Cyclops and stuff.
Right,
They just
yeah.
make it where they don't talk to the Cyclops at all. But still, I think grab the heart of
That's
the
cool.
how scary that moment is and how gruesome. The movie is very gruesome at times, where which I mean, it's very Greek. Like it doesn't pull back often from the violence of, say, a Cyclops grabbing a man and biting his head off. Like, and this is, Odysseus seeing his men killed in all sorts of different
Right.
ways through their journey back home.
Right.
So I thought it was really well done in the sense that the poem starts with Telemachus back in Ithaca.
Mhm.
And so that's where it starts.
Okay.
I thought just overall, I thought it was just, I enjoyed it. At the end of it, I actually felt not like a bawling my eyes out, but like a pang of like, oh, he's going back. And I know it's coming too.
Right.
Like once he actually gets back to his kingdom.
Sure.
Not perfect, but also you got to remember it's Christopher Nolan. Most of the time, Christopher Nolan nails it. And I thought he nailed this one. Is he going to win an Oscar? Are there going to be things in it that were changed that certain folks that are really into the pure Odyssey won't like?
I would say I'm a traditionalist, and the fact that he blended, and don't get me wrong, I love Dante Allegra, but it's not. I think he obviously the director can take liberty to kind of blend, and that's fine if he.
Yeah, and Sinat's also in Shakespeare, so he took from Shakespeare,
Lots of
Dante,
Shakespeare.
and from Virgil. And so kind of the larger Western corpus is the idea. Now, and there are also stuff like where he breaks from the poem and it's like the long and short of it, like the main thrust of the story and what it's about. Where in the movie, Odysseus feels that he broke the hospitality, the law of Zeus by doing the Trojan horse. And thus he brought down an entire civilization by destroying hospitality. In the poem, he's more righteous
I was
and,
gonna say,
and
he's actually very
right. It's kind of thought about as just a clever ruse that maybe but I think what Nolan's trying to say in that though is we're forgetting the veterans and lessons from those veterans of World War II and World War I. And sometimes when you break the rules of hospitality, you're going to have to relearn it all over again. I thought as a movie, like not trying to make it a one-for-one showing of like the actual poem itself, as a Christopher Nolan movie, I thought it was a fantastic movie.
Good.
I enjoyed it.
Good.
But and it made me just look at all the folks online who hadn't seen it yet, who were saying all sorts of, like, you're all a bunch of dorks. You seriously are a bunch of dorks. I don't love the whole woke right label people tried to throw around, but there's definitely, it made my lips wanted to say woke right. That y'all are reminding me of the crazy left wingers who are hung up on race, gender, sex, class, yada, yada, and y'all are doing it just in a different direction. Writing off things before you fully hear them out and actually understand them. I don't know. People can have their own opinions, but I'm not alone. I think there are a lot of folks that have gone in to see the movie, maybe thought worse of it than me. One review said it was too self-serious. I'm like, I thought it was fine. I don't want too much Marvel self-deprecation going on in my Odyssey movie. And then others, I saw Spencer Clavin, I saw Jonathan Pageau, I saw a lot of folks come in and say, no, this is, and that was my takeaway, is this is a very profound movie, compelling visually. The sound engineering was incredible. Like they would cut from like scenes of it's just pure quiet where he reunites with Penelope, his wife, and he's retelling why maybe he didn't want to come back.
Right.
And then it cuts to what happened that night when they got into Troy, and the bass is like in your chest, thumping, and then cuts back to the quiet scene. Like he just really well done. And it's been months since I'd been to a movie theater. So to see it in a big old movie theater with great sound, big picture, that's a type of movie you want to go see with a big screen.
The last one I saw was Jujutsu Kaisen. At the theaters. Yeah. You remember they had the Gojo fight. It was great.
So I enjoyed it.
Well, then again, though, Joey, I'd say that you're more tolerant to woke stuff than other people are sometimes.
That's fair.
I mean, I know you're not.
I draw a line when
yourself.
I draw a line where it absolutely distracts me.
I agree.
The story.
I agree.
There was this moment I remember being in theaters whenever this movie came out, The Last Jedi. And I remember at the scene where it's like the speed racers going towards the big cannon that's opening the door, and it was like all the colors of the transgender flag. Yeah. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, it's this big dramatic scene, and it's just cutting to like every different type of person under the sun. I'm like, oh, come on. Like, that's a bit much.
Nobody gets left behind, Joey.
Yeah, if it doesn't, in a way, this movie plays on, and some are theorizing this, that because the movie's all about trickery and that cunning and underhandedness of, Odysseus is a descendant of Sisyphus himself.
Yes.
Because that's what a lot of the movie's about, that sort of cunning, and you shouldn't believe your own eyes. There's something fascinating about the casting, the woke casting.
Yeah.
That it the woke casting wasn't just to do the woke casting; it actually fulfilled a point to the story he was telling. So I'm like, okay,
Understood.
well done, Mr. Nolan. Well done. We'll see. And it did make me laugh, a chuckle a little bit, because I heard all this stuff about Elliot Page, so-called, being in the movie. Like, first few minutes, dead.
Good. You're like,
Yeah,
"Oh."
and like this. I don't know. Get off X, go touch grass, and then go see a movie.
There you go.
272-9228. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Simpler days.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, gentlemen.
Hey, sir.
Joey, if we get a new mayor,
Mhm.
what would be the first priority you think he should tackle? What do you think should be on that priority list?
Policing, public safety, and not just the obvious, we got to get our numbers up, but the general approach, and this is not even something that necessarily would be for public consumption, but you go in there and the conversation you have with your officers and your leadership of those officers and what you expect. Because I think right now there is well, I said it in the thing I just read, I think there is a suspicion like hanging over policing and, tough on crime policies. Almost like, well, we don't want to be like those big racists of 30 years ago, is what I think they want to say.
Yeah, public safety, and why do families want to come? Why do they want to go to this church, or a young couple want to go to this church, and they don't want to go to another church? I mean, Montgomery's going to have to find its way, and just me, I think that they're going to have to start over. The whole city council is going to have to be replaced. The mayor's going to have to be replaced, and for new fresh air to come in. I mean, when you can't even keep up the basic things like the sanitation department and the garbage trucks, and not leasing the trucks, but having to rent garbage trucks because, according to the mayor, you can't hire a mechanic. And I mean, those kind of basic things are going to have to be addressed, and they're not glamorous, they're not fun, but they're the nuts and bolts. And
also to my point, do you want to hear what the mayor had to say on Capitol Journal? Jeff Poor picked this up through it on 1892 News. I think Stephen Reed was asked about Will Barfoot's bill about certain police level standards coming from the state in Montgomery, and it would also apply to Huntsville. But this is what Mayor Reed had to say
right now.
Okay. Well, speaking of public safety, let's go back to the legislative session where that bill from Senator Barfoot and Representative Reed was up, essentially it would force the city of Montgomery, not specifically, but that was, essentially forcing the city of Montgomery to increase the police ranks. You opposed this bill, said it was an overreach from the state. It did not pass at the end of the day. Came close.
Very much.
Did not pass. So I'll ask you to explain your opposition to the bill, but more importantly, with that in the rearview mirror, how are our police ranks? What can you tell me about what kind of progress the capital city has made? And because that was the issue they were trying to address, right? Hey, let's get more cops on the street.
Yeah, and listen, getting more cops on the street isn't hard, believe it or not. It's getting quality people to serve and protect our communities who have the right mental makeup, the right disposition to respond to a break-in, much less a homicide, but also can deal with something that doesn't need to be escalated. Somebody who's in mental distress, somebody who's having another drug-related issue that doesn't call for a heavy-handed approach. And so it takes a special person to really be on the front lines of public safety the way so many of our men and women are right here in Montgomery and around the state of Alabama. So we wanted to be sure that we didn't cede local control to the legislature.
What do you think about that, Simpler Days? It's not about the numbers. It's easy, in fact, to get more cops on the streets, believe it or not, but getting quality people to serve and protect our communities, have the right mental makeup, yada, yada, yada. Tougher.
I think he's bloviating.
Do too.
I think it's Bravo Sierra.
A Simpler Days, what about this? How about and having a culture, encouraging a culture, and giving leadership the reins to the horse to do what they need to do, community policing, and staying out of those affairs. I can't imagine you could get all the quality people you want, but if you ain't got good leadership and you don't have connectivity to do the mission set that you are asked to do, it's going to be an abject failure ultimately.
Here the mayor continues.
Based on staffing numbers. We all want to see the numbers be as high as they can. Everybody feels safer. My mom feels safer. My church members feel safer. My neighbors feel safer. So we all want to see that, but it has to be done the right way. And I believe then and I believe now that that was a bad bill. And it was a bill that was a power grab, in my opinion, that wasn't needed in particular without conversation with fellow state senator Kirk Hatcher, who represents 2/3 of Montgomery, much less myself. And we said that to Senator Barfoot. And what we have been doing now is really focusing on recruitment and retention. So we have a $15,000 recruiting incentive out there that has been great to attract quality law enforcement officers, many of them who are not only first time, but who are laterals coming from other departments and bringing their experience with us. But it also shows, our men and women in blue that we support them. We're proposing another pay increase in this year's budget. And when you look at where we are right now, we would be over 30% just since I took office for pay increases for first responders. That's significant.
Wonder where we are in terms of numbers since he took office. Like a number of officers. Anyway.
Well, if you gave me 100 officers and let me pick them, let me interview them, let me talk to them, and not just ride around in the car and look pretty in response to calls, but to be a good hunting dog and coach them up and create, just like Mayor Farmer did with the sanitation department. They were a ragtag outfit, gentlemen, when he came on board, and he put them in uniforms. He gave them a sense of purpose. They were always first in United Way campaign contributions, the sanitation department. And it was simply putting pride and instilling it, and they knew what their mission was, and they get through their routes early. And that's what's got to happen to the police department. And if you took 100 officers, trained them, let them know that you're going to support them, that you're going to pat them on the head when they do good, but you're going to redirect them if they make a mistake, but you're not going to clip them if they do. And put them in strategic areas, squads, put them in, and let them retake turf in Montgomery.
Yeah, amen.
Let them reestablish and retake turf. And criminals go where they feel comfortable. And when you've got units out there, they're going to go somewhere else. They're going to move down the road, around the block. They're not going to congregate, and they're not going to feel, they don't feel any fear of the police department.
That's right.
And it's just like the sheepdog. The sheepdog's job is to guard the flock from the wolves. And the sheepdog doesn't care about the opinion of the sheep or the bystanders. The sheepdog has a mission, and he guards the sheep. But see, we want to penalize our sheepdogs. We want to turn them over to the wolves. And that's what we've created, this atmosphere. And until that culture changes down there, and until there's somebody that can walk in and say, we are going to redirect our focus, our mission, and we're going to allow you to police, and we're going to support you, but we understand that you're going to make mistakes, and if you make an honest mistake, we're going to support you. We're not going to hang you out to dry. And take 100 fresh officers and create unity and pride, and those other officers will follow them. They'll want to be a part of that.
Yep.
Esprit
But
de
I don't
corps.
think you get that until, well, Montgomery gets a new mayor. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day.
272-9228. We got to hit a break
Yep.
here. First, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health.
Mhm.
Heard about them, right?
Oh, yeah, I have.
They've been helping men out for over 15 years. So there's a lot of these pop-up things online and fly-by-night things that are just
DIY
thrown
kits,
out
yeah.
there. And instead of like going with the fad sites and these folks that maybe, got to question quality control at certain times too, go with an established institution. That's Montgomery Men's Health. Like I said, they've been helping men out with low testosterone and ED problems for 15 years here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas. And this past year, they leveled up. New care, new options, and it's impressive to see. But the question you should be asking yourself is, do I know my numbers? If you are feeling like crap, gentlemen, just across the board, no energy to speak up, your sleep's all off, you're getting fatter around the middle, losing muscle mass, and no libido, not only in the bedroom, but just in general in life. Like, where's your life force? Where's your energy? Well, that could very well be low testosterone. If you don't know your numbers, maybe that's exactly the problem. And those pills don't work for everybody, but they have other options, especially if the pills have never worked, never really did. So stop by, get an evaluation today. A $99 testosterone test, just a quick blood draw. You can get your numbers in about an hour. Just call them up at 440-3663 to make an appointment. That's 440-3663, or you can book online at montgomerymenshealth.com. That's Montgomery Men's Health for every man in every season of life. Be sure to tell him Joey that Phil on the radio sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Tired of spending your weekends fighting weeds, patchy grass, and a mower that never starts? Mosley Lawn Pros is the solution. They handle residential and commercial lawn maintenance, landscaping, cleanups, and property care so you don't have to. They show up on time, do the job right, and leave your lawn looking sharp every time. Stop stressing over your yard and start loving it. When it comes to your lawn, call the crew your neighbors and local businesses trust. One call, one crew, problem solved. Mosley Lawn Pros, built on hard work, driven by quality. Find them today on Facebook or Google.
You want your floors to scream new, fresh, and stylish. But if yours are groaning, tired, old, and outdated, you're in luck. Because at Prattville Carpet, you can revitalize your floors while you save on the best brands available with perfect and professional installation and Prattville's unbeatable lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Start shopping for your floors right now at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Wall Street kicked off the day with gains as oil prices retreated, but not before AAA's national average for a gallon of gas rose to $4. Oil prices fell despite an escalation of the fighting between the U.S. and Iran. Domino's jumped more than 7% after the pizza delivery giant beat second quarter revenue projections and announced another round of stock buybacks. The company fell short of Wall Street's profit targets, even as its net income grew 3.6% over the same period last year. AMC soared close to 15% in off-hours trading after the movie theater chain posted record second quarter sales and profit. Those figures did not even include the past weekend when the 106-year-old theater company said 4.3 million people watched The Odyssey in its theaters. For the Wall Street Business Report,
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Mr. Electric of Montgomery. Mr. Electric, we've got the power to make things better. Visit MrElectric.com.
Well, hi, everybody. As we continue to track that tropical system in the northern Gulf, it's mostly going to leave us alone. Our forecast features a lot of heat, mostly sunny with a high temperature Up to about 96 today, and the heat index close to the 105 danger range. Lows at night in the mid-70s. And each day this week, little day-to-day change as far as those random scattered showers and storms, which will be most prominent in the afternoon and evening hours, right on through the end of the week. Daily highs in the middle 90s, and each day the heat index climbs very close to that 105 danger range. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right back to the phones, shall we? I think some folks want to talk about Montgomery a little bit, or the Odyssey. Let's go to Chris. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Hey guys, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Just real quick, I guess Montgomery just needs to have a honest assessment of itself. And the problem is we don't have a politician or politicians willing to come out and say that. I know probably for investment reasons and things like that, they don't want to say, hey, these are our problems and here's the solutions. The problem is we don't have anybody that's willing to do that or take the political capital to do that, because it doesn't look good. Hey, we need more cops and we're down this many. We just don't have an honest assessment of what's going on in the city. And that's what makes the $375 million even worse. Like your simpler days talking about, you can't even get a mechanic to fix the garbage trucks, but you're going to float a $375 million loan pretty much to build something what's the ROI on that? I mean, how long will it take to even pay this thing back?
Well, how about if we're going to do a bond, how about $175 million bond for everything else, but not the convention center?
Correct me if
seriously.
Yeah, well, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Did I not see something cross the wire over the weekend about searching for more funds for Whitewater again?
Well, the city would say we didn't do that, and we gave them some money, but that's not our baby. And it's like, okay. And then, as I brought up, I didn't bring that in my piece, but Jackson Hospital is continuing.
Another one.
But then again, you can go, that's county, that's state, it's maybe a little bit of all of us. I don't know. And this, I believe, would push us near the limit.
Oh God, I have to.
As a city.
I mean, that would be bankruptcy, guys. I mean, that to me, the thought even, it's like those are kind of things you go to like some of these areas outside of Atlanta, like at Johns Creek and all these places that are.
Yeah.
And you go there, and you know what? They're building stuff like that because they're making money. They've got it all figured out. They have cops fighting each other to come work there. I mean, they've got it going on. And again, it's a completely different environment. I got you, but those it's like you going out and buying a Porsche 911 when you are bankrupt.
Well, there's cultural
or you just can't get your life together. It's like, why are we spending that money if we can't get it together? Honestly, I think that's kind of disingenuous and really just kind of a slap in the face of the taxpayer.
It might be endemic to certain people to believe and think that way. And I would argue this, when you said earlier what Montgomery might need, an honest assessment, Joey, I thought he was going to say, like Jack Nicholson as the Joker, this town needs an enema.
Yeah. It's got so much opportunity, man. I grew up here. There's so much opportunity. The location is, between 85, 65. I mean, the Chamber of Commerce can tell you all this stuff. Natural resources coming out of the wazoo. Location is just perfect. But it's just, we're just failing not only ourselves, but the people that live here. And I tell you, what you're failing is the people that own homes. Your home values haven't gone up like in other areas and things like that. It's unfair, but I think it's fixable, and it's very easily to be fixed, but we're unwilling to do it.
Well, like I say, we'll see next year, and we'll see what the council does tomorrow night. I think being a member down short, maybe another tie is in the works.
Might be. It'd be interesting.
Another what? A tie?
A tie, yeah. 8. Right now it's 4-4 split. So it's question though, guys. I'm 10 years living here now, so I guess I consider this this is really one of the longest places I've stayed in my
Mhm.
career. But what would it look like 20 years ago? What did it look like 20 years ago on paper, on the books, on the, population I know was higher. I just would be curious to see. There was a time when Lee High School was a good place to be, right?
Yeah.
Carver. And it's today, I just don't know what right looks like for you all. And I only came here 10 years ago, 2015, and it seemed like it's degraded pretty fast since I've been here.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what you guys think of
There
it.
were some steps. If you go back like 30 years,
Yeah.
there's definitely been steps forward and then a bunch of steps back.
Okay.
The downtown area was always a problem. I know that
Okay.
Balmer really didn't want to do much about that. That's great. That's beautiful. I'm glad we did it. But I mean, it did cost there was $1 billion investment downtown Montgomery, from what I understand.
Yes,
$1 billion. RSA got involved. And just like someone said earlier, if it was such a good idea, and I'm going to the 375, if that was a good idea to do a convention center, then Bronner had been on in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But
You're right. That's
what
a
was
good
it-
point.
He is right.
RSA would have loved to
the
join us.
city- Yeah, well, the city was always it always has been a suitcase town.
Yep.
It's always been kind of back in the, laid back, real nothing fancy, and the services worked. It was clean to some degree. It started getting worse, I think, in 20 years ago. Trash services started slipping a little bit. The expansion of Montgomery probably benefited some other people than most in the city itself. But for the most part, it was run well, and I felt safe. But at the same time, now we don't even know how many cops we have on the streets, guys. I mean, that's the problem.
Can't get straight numbers on crime or anything,
Well, I appreciate the call, Chris. I got a bunch of other.
Yeah, y'all have a
Thanks,
great day.
Chris.
Thanks, Joey.
Let's go to Chuck. Hey, Chuck, how you doing?
Hey, great. Appreciate the show.
Thanks, man.
Hey, I really thank you for the review on the Odyssey. I've been on the fence about that, and I think now I feel safe to go see it.
Yeah, I think it was if you like Christopher Nolan movies, it was a good Christopher Nolan movie. Not the greatest movie in the world, but I enjoyed my 3 hours.
What about, did you go see George Washington?
Not yet. Young Washington. I
heard it's
it's awesome.
Heard it's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go see that. Hey, do you mind if I make a comment to Colonel Carrico there?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Major Carrico, actually. I was Lieutenant Colonel nominated, but go ahead. Yeah.
Your article I read yesterday just blew me away.
Which one?
About the Marine whose Silver Star was upgraded to
Yeah,
the
it
Medal
was.
of Honor.
Listen, man, it was, brother. Thank you for noticing that. That was it was Joey spoke with him. We had him on the show. He was a man amongst men.
And I believe you told on Brian Dawson's podcast
Yeah.
about how he Capers turned down because they wanted him to talk about racial
Yeah,
discrimination.
it was, and I was wrong. It was not Hakeem Jeffries. It was Bynum that spoke to him. But yeah, I think about that for a minute there, Chuck. He said, "F you, I don't want your award," when they tried to make him go all racial on it.
To make it political. I mean, we saw that with John Chapman, but it's just that after serving 30 years in the military myself, it's really sickening to read something like that.
And Chuck, thank you for your service, brother. And I want to say this: how important is it for us to recognize our heroes when they're still alive, not posthumously? I can't stress enough. That man lived this life, and it's just good for him to know that. I don't know. Not that he ever asked for it, and that's the kind of man he was. He just was a man amongst men. So.
Well, and there's a lot of heroes out there that have not been recognized.
You ain't kidding, Chuck. You and I can both count on many hands the people that should have been recognized or should have been promoted or should have done this, but the system eats its young, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chuck.
I appreciate y'all's comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this? Hello. Anybody there? Hello.
Hello.
Hey, you're on there. Who's this?
This is Munchkin.
Hey, Munchkin, how are you?
Fine. Does anybody know what's going on 65 North? I'm at just past the 193 marker, and traffic is backed up over a mile that I can see. So I just wondered if y'all had any information on it.
I don't
I'm
have
checking
any
right now.
immediate updates. You're looking into it?
Yeah, I am right now. I think what was the mile marker again?
I just passed the 193 mile marker.
Oh gosh, yeah. I can tell you what's going on. You are entering into a one lane. There's a one lane. It'll be your left lane if you're going north. Get over into the left lane, and it'll all funnel down into one lane. I was just up there at Birmingham for the 1819 News podcast last week, and it's ongoing construction on the bridges there, just around the Clanton, Verbena, that area right there. You're right in the middle of it, and stay patient. Be over in the left lane. It should move slowly. That's what happened to me the other day. So yeah, that's construction, and that's, Joey, I think scheduled out through October.
Oh,
so
goodness
yeah,
gracious.
not good.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you so much.
Be
Appreciate the
safe.
info.
Yeah, be
Thank
safe.
you, Munchkin. Let's go to line 4. You're on there. Who's this?
Hola.
Hello, Eric. How are you?
Bueno, bueno. Montgomery needs a new mayor,
Yeah, I think so.
emphatically.
Yeah, no, and it's so much of it to me. Like, again, I said, like, in theory, wanting to turn the old advertising building into something like a convention center is not the worst thing in theory. And I'm not alone, don't trust the leadership to get this done, especially for the price tag they're saying.
The price tag's the first thing that's going out the window. I give you, and this goes to the state, I know, but I give you any prison they build, anything they've done on budget and on time, you let me know, I'll wait while you never find it. That's just not how government works.
Hey, listen, did you see, Eric, what the mayors had what Liz Fillmore had the audacity to claim out of the governor's office, Joey, that the legislative building is on time, to spec, and on budget.
What?
Yeah, yesterday. Facebook.
Is it?
It's Facebook post.
Is it on time?
No, not at all. None of those boxes are checked. A blatant lie, man. I mean, who the hell?
Politicians, that's just, I mean, not to be super cynical, but have you ever met a poor politician?
No.
Have you ever met one that hasn't lied about something?
Not my experience,
I mean,
since I've been involved
It's just
in it.
semantics. They say one thing, do another thing, and tell you why they done it. Try to feed you a horse load of manure, and you're supposed to sit there and take it with a straight face. I think, Joey, you alluded to this last week. I told you that the mayor was on somebody's podcast or maybe a radio show, I don't know. And the whole big thing, you know what the big thing was, Trey? The big topic of conversation for the mayor of Montgomery?
What was it?
The thing is that he was complaining that the state told him that they weren't going to cut the grass on the southern bypass anymore. That Montgomery was doing as good as they could do, and they were going above and beyond to cut that. That is the state's job.
Yes,
and they just said, Montgomery, we're not doing it anymore. We're only going to do it 50% of the time. That is what this man, I mean, it was right after that little girl got shot. And he's on there griping about who's picking up trash and cutting grass. Man, get out of my face with that, dude. How am I supposed to take you serious?
Yeah.
Grass. I ain't worried about the grass. It'll grow so high, and then it'll quit growing, and then it'll start dying. It'll take care of itself.
Then we might get IEDs set in that tall grass. I don't like that idea of that on Southern Bypass.
Oh my God. There's not anybody here smart enough. Now they might jump out and shoot you with a 9, but they ain't gonna build no bomb.
Well, they'll shoot sideways and they'll overshoot your car.
Yeah, that's the kill shot, Troy. You gotta watch that. They pull the gun sideways.
No, I love
kill
it when
shot.
they do that. I love that.
I know you do.
Listen, brother, every day, and Joey knows what I'm about to say.
Oh, no.
I strap on and I think today's the day. Send me. I will show the city how to deal with him. Never, unfortunately.
I nominate Simpler Days. I know what he used to do, and I think he needs to do it again if he ain't still doing it in some form of capacity. I think they ought to hire him.
Yeah.
They can pay them people $100,000 in overtime. Give that money to him. That man's smart. He knows what he's doing.
He'd be a great consultant.
Them folks.
He sure would be.
Dude, let him do it.
Well, if that's what he wants. Right now he's listening saying, hey, I'm retired now. But if they'll pay me $100,000 to sit back and call a few things for them, I can do that. But we'll see. Yeah.
I have spent better money on worse things, so I'm all for it. All right, y'all. Joey, keep up the good work, buddy. I love you.
Love you too, Eric.
Adios.
Adios.
It's fun.
We got to hit this very quick break. Hopefully we'll get Austin Baranko on the other side of this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM. WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Well, Austin Baranko's kind of busy, but I always like hearing that from a sponsor. So if you are looking for any financial needs at all, like to be met, like you need financial planning done, you need to get some life insurance set up for the family, you need to plan for those children's future, your children's future. Maybe you need to get your end of life concerns buttoned up. It could be you have a big estate. You don't want any fights after you die, so to speak. Or God forbid, you know, you, the fella, run most of the finances and you leave your widow kind of just in the lurch. Like it's bad enough to die, but then have all these problems that crop up later. And then, of course, there are, you know, people that want to invest their money in things. Well, if you're looking for great folks that can manage those assets, they're really good at it there at Invista Advisors. Austin Baranko runs the brokerage desk there, and they can help you out with all sorts of investment strategies wherever you are in life. So the bottom line is any of your financial needs, financial planning, investment strategies, check out Invista Advisors today. You can always call them direct at 387-0094. That's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Kyle. How are y'all?
All right, Kyle, how are you?
Good, good. Hey, before they do another bond issue, I'd be willing to, wondering how much of the last bond issue they paid. Remember that debacle when they redid Crampton Bowl and built that new sports center down there? They still ain't got that thing paid off. And the reasoning or what they were talking about having to pay it off, they go, oh, it'll pay itself off. Well, they did some figuring. There's like 32,000 seats down there, and it was $32 million bond issue. So you'd have to sell each of those seats. You'd have to turn those seats over to where each of them made $1 million to pay that bond issue off. So, you know, I don't see the sense in going after, you know, more money when they ain't got the one that they got paid off yet.
Yeah, and half the council so far has said we agree or we'd like to hear more of an explanation because this would be getting us close to certain limits. I believe it would essentially double the amount of debt we're servicing.
Yeah, that's nuts. And if it's like the federal debt, then we're not paying a whole lot of principal. We're paying a whole lot of interest right now.
Right. Yeah, it's and I don't have all the numbers right in front of me, but I don't think they should do it. And even beyond just the numbers, I think you're down a council council member. You got an election next year. Like, you know, if the people of Montgomery want to reelect everybody and say explicitly, we want you to go through something like this, cool, I guess. Like if the people get what they want. But right now it seems like a year out from a mayoral election, down a council member, this would be irresponsible to throw this amount of debt onto the back of the city.
Yeah, and then if and when it happened, there'd always be some question about it. You know, well, they were down a council member, and you know that's the question. It'd always be questionable about it. So, and here's the thing: they got plenty of sports facilities now. Okay, I mean, you know, baseball. They got Davos Stadium. They got Patterson Field. They got the indoor sports arenas. You know, they've got everything. They've even got the Coliseum now. Montgomery owns the Coliseum now, that I understand. So we don't need sports facilities, and sports facilities aren't gonna boost they're not going to boost the city's anything for the city. We've already got sports facilities.
Right. Yeah, no, and I was just double checking. Essentially, this proposal of $375 million would roughly double the city's current outstanding debt load. And it would also bring us pretty close to the cap. I believe our legal debt margin of roughly, it's $412 million, something like that. 20% of assessed property value is the Alabama law. That caps general obligation debt. So yeah, we would be getting close. I think our current debt is something like $214 million. So yeah, it's it would be pushing it close. And if anything else happened, you know, what are we gonna do?
All right, absolutely nuts. All right, fellas, have a good one.
Have a good one.
Appreciate it. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228.
You know what you just said there? The last statement is, and if heaven forbid we need something, what are we going to do? And who knows? I mean, our water infrastructure might collapse with data centers. I'm just being facetious, but Joey, we have very little wiggle room if we take a loan against our future. So
right. Wow, what a mess.
Needs a new
mayor.
mayor.
The council, yeah.
We need a new mayor, dude.
I think. Yeah, I've heard that.
So what do you think is going to happen? Speaking of the council, what is the bylaws? I'm not even familiar with what the city's.
Well, I mean, it could pass it if 5 people decide we want to go with this, it'll pass. If Marsha Johnson was still on the council, it would have passed.
It would have already passed. Yeah, I agree.
And so it's interesting to see maybe we get stuck in this 4-4 until maybe not until the next mayoral election next year, but there will be a special election coming up for that District 3 seat. Could very well be that you then have the person in there that is willing to vote for this.
True.
But yeah, $375 million.
And you know it's not going to be just 375. They're going to have to come back for some additional funding.
But since we're talking about roughly doubling the city's current outstanding debt load. Nice. And you got to wonder, well, they promise never to ever even think about raising taxes, but the problem is they want to raise taxes. I know that explicitly. The mayor and members of the council would love an occupational tax.
They would definitely love that.
So we'll see. Now, Montgomery may not get a new mayor, but we are going to get a new governor soon. So maybe that changes some of the dynamics of everything in the state, but especially here for the capital city. Anyway, we got to hit this break. We'll be right back after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. A suspect is in custody today after an attack outside a federal building in New York City injured 2 people. An explosive device detonated outside a federal building in lower Manhattan. The FBI says 1 person is now in custody, and the Joint Terrorism Task Force is investigating. Also at SRNnews.com, U.S. Central Command says another American service member has died during Operation Epic Fury. The service member was killed in northern Iraq during the controlled detonation of unexploded ordnance that came from a downed Iranian attack drone. The president's new plane getting an upgrade to make it safer. The president told reporters that the new Air Force One will be taken out of service for a few weeks for a security upgrade. U.S. gas prices jumping to an average of $4 a gallon once again. AAA says as of today, the nationwide average for a gallon of regular unleaded is back up to $4. This is SRN News.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free, no-risk consultation. 800-292-7875. 800-292-7875. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-292-7875.
Rich Thomas weather is brought to you by Victoryland.
Win a BMW X7 or your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's BMW and $25,000 free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too.
Well, hi, everybody. As we continue to track that tropical system in the northern Gulf, it's mostly going to leave us alone. Our forecast features a lot of heat, mostly sunny with a high temperature up to about 96 today, and the heat index close to the 105 danger range. Lows at night in the mid-70s. And each day this week, little day-to-day change as far as those random scattered showers and storms, which will be most prominent in the afternoon and evening hours, right on through the end of the week. Daily highs in the middle 90s, and each day the heat index climbs very close to that 105 danger range. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Montgomery police are investigating an early Sunday morning shooting that left a woman seriously injured. The shooting happened just before 2:30 a.m. at the New Moon Bar on Del Reyta Road. The unidentified female was taken to a nearby hospital in serious condition. No additional details regarding suspect or motive have been made available. A woman was killed and 2 children injured in a single vehicle crash in Autauga County. 35-year-old Christy Matthews was driving an SUV around 2:30 Saturday morning when it left the road, went airborne, and struck a ditch. Matthews was not wearing a seatbelt. She was thrown from the SUV and died at the scene. 2 children, a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old, were also unrestrained and injured. The crash happened on Highway 14 about 2 miles west of Prattville. Montgomery police continue to investigate the discovery of a human body near the I-65-85 interchange. Authorities were called to a vacant house in the 1000 block of Oak Street to investigate reports of a deceased person. Details are very limited. How long the person had been dead or the cause of death hasn't been determined. No further information has been released. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
What are you getting? Still deciding, but I do know on August 11th, I'm choosing Rhett Marcus for Congress. Why Rhett Marcus? Because he's a true conservative, endorsed by President Trump and Senator Katie Britt. Oh, then you can trust him. And he's a small business owner, not a politician. Sounds like this choice on August 11th is the easiest decision we'll ever make.
Remember to vote on August 11th. I'm Rat Marcus, the Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rat for Alabama.
If your pet could shop for dinner, they'd probably skip the kettle. At All Fours Paws Thrive, we prepare fresh baked and blended meals using ingredients sourced from the human-grade supply chain and made right here in Alabama. No added salt, just fresh nutrition for the four-legged members of your family. Visit Alabama's only fresh pet food deli at the Artisan Pet Food Market on McGee Road, Suite C, every Thursday from 9 to 7:30. We'll even show you easy ways to add more moisture to your pet's diet. All Fours Paws Thrive, fresh from Alabama, because healthy pets thrive.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
There are those that think I'm a very stable genius.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico in here playing the clavinet with one hand. The rest of the lock. One hand bandit. And so I think I've convinced you to at least try these.
I think I will. Yeah, I think I will.
I've just not been to the movie for a while, like the movies for a while. I was like, and I saw a couple good reviews. I'm like, I'm going.
How well attended was it at that time of the day?
Not that crowded. I mean, for 10 o'clock showing,
Yeah.
there was people in the theater.
Okay, well, yeah.
But it wasn't like, it was the Big D theater, so it wasn't like packed out.
No, I got
like
you.
everybody, I'll put it this way, it was like 2-3 people, maybe 4 or 5 in each row.
Okay.
So each row had people
There was people in
occupying
there,
it, up and down the theater.
More than I would think for a Sunday at 10 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was a discount, and
I see.
and the fact that it wasn't packed, I liked.
Well,
And
good.
they updated the sound in that theater because the sound was remarkable.
You said the sound was outstanding.
That was one of the best. That's why I would suggest go see it in theaters, and especially an IMAX theater, because it's crucial to the storytelling. I'll put it that
Absolutely.
way. Like maybe the first line is "Sing, Muse," with somebody beating with a pole on a table, and it's like hits you with thumps in the chest. You're like, okay, and it's not exactly linear storytelling either. So it's good. It's kind of like a little surreal. Anyway, let's go to Crawdad. Hey, Crawdad, how you doing?
Good afternoon.
Hey, guys.
I haven't been in the theater in a very, very long time. What was the one that was supposedly relatively new on Vaughn Road? And when I went in there, it was the first thing. I've been in a movie theater a very long time then, and the sound, it was terrible. The setup was great, but I mean, yeah, it was
Festival
bad.
Plaza, the one there, Taylor and Vaughn.
Yeah, I
Road?
think it's Festival.
What was that, please? I had
The
I
one
had to turn
Festival
down.
Plaza, the one on Taylor and Vaughn Road.
Yes.
Yeah, that's still there.
Their audio is, the arrangement of seating is kind of weird because it's like a deep amphitheater, as if you were back in Rome at the Circus Maximus.
Oh,
But
that
the audio-
IMAX there, they've updated it, I think, since you've been. That IMAX
That
there
would
is
be
pretty
good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I remember the movie I went out there to see was when what's the one where the people are planet and they're blue and all that.
Avatar.
They're not,
Avatar.
yes, Avatar had come out. I took my wife out to see Avatar, and I couldn't stand it, man. I mean, they're blowing us out of the. So you say they've gotten better, eh?
Yeah, well, but I mean, it's loud.
That's too much.
Okay, if that's your problem, though, you might not like it.
Hey, Claudette, put some cotton balls in your ears. It's like shooting without headphones.
Well, and I'm telling you what, the Odyssey's
I
a
am
heck of a
very
lot better than
guilty.
Adult Fern Gully.
Oh my. I ruined my ears.
What'd you say?
Trey.
What'd you say?
Yes,
Huh?
exactly. Which one is your good eye? It's the one that's left.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I caught that.
Hey, on another matter concerning venues for entertainment, I remember when very young Prince came to Montgomery and played Crampton Bowl.
Yeah.
Crampton Bowl is a good place for entertainment. They just need to do one thing. They got to fix the insulation around the ceiling of that place, because I saw
Oh, you
Chicago
mean Garrett
play
Coliseum?
There. Did I say something different? I
Yeah,
meant
you
Garrett
said
Coliseum.
Crampton Bowl.
Yeah, Garrett
Oh,
Coliseum.
thank you. They could clean that up a little bit too, but the acoustics at
Garrett.
Civics. Yes, they need to do, if they get the audio tuned in a little bit better, instead of bouncing everything off of the ceiling. It would be great. I didn't know. I know. I'll wrap this up because I know I'm rambling man over here. Led Zeppelin. Oh yeah.
It's actually the Allman Brothers. That was the Allman Brothers, I believe. Ramblin' Man.
Oh, it was. That's right.
Don't get the South kicked
Yeah,
out
but
of
as you ramble on, you're reminding me of Zeppelin. Yeah.
I've had too much Dane Bramage. What do you want from that thing?
Hey, listen, my dad
This is
always
a
would
free
say, I'm
phone
retired and retarded.
Yeah, I have been retarded first, and then I got retired.
Okay.
Really, though, I want to say that I did not know that the Gale Planetarium was back up, and I did not know. I thought they were mothballed, but I wish I could get down there and see something at the planetarium. That was great.
Troy University manages it now. That's why it's not mothballed anymore.
Well, I appreciate
and
the call,
Joey,
man.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, Crawdad.
Bye, Crawdad. 272-9228. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey.
Hey.
It's TS.
Hey, TS. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I was talking to Rich and Jay about the Odyssey, I guess Thursday or Friday. Anyway, they looked it up because they said, oh, it won't be playing at the McWayne Science Center. And I said, check it out. And they looked it up. The Odyssey is playing at that, and they have a huge IMAX dome thing.
I went a couple
And
years
it's
ago
nice.
to visit a friend, and I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to see it on that. It's almost too big.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe the Odyssey would be pretty awesome on it, but it's almost too much for me. I prefer kind of the big D or the big IMAX, just screen with the great sound.
Now, where did you go?
The one over the
watch
weekend, I went to the Big D Chantilly.
Big D. I'll have to look that up.
It's
I'm
a
not familiar with
huge,
it.
got a very huge, wide, almost horizontal screen, but tall enough to do IMAX. And then the Festival Plaza's IMAX is more of a square. Both have incredible sound now. Like they're both good theater.
Okay, well, thank you, and enjoy your day.
All right. You too, TS. Yeah, the McWayne Science Center, that is fun. Have you been up there before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's
not a bad spot.
No, it's not. And Troy has put a lot, they've redone a lot to the interior and got some new programming in it and projections.
Like you're going to see truly like stars and space documentaries or the ocean, like where you're fully immersive. But something about a movie.
That's cool.
Maybe the Odyssey worked. Maybe if it's shot purposely for IMAX, it would work. But
Yeah.
sometimes you lose the composition of the shot.
It's not always scalable, is it? It's not always
right.
scalable to a bigger form.
What you want is what the director intended. So you get the exact composition that you want. The people, it was one of my favorite things I saw in X in a while, where folks who saw the Odyssey not in IMAX, and this is the part of the screen that was cut off, and it's the closing scene in Happy Gilmore with the alligator and Chubb waving.
That's nice.
And Grandma waving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Christopher Nolan. He's got a sense of humor.
History.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Pike County. Hey, thanks for taking my call. No, I was just thinking while y'all were talking, and I was just trying to get a handle of where to start on that. On YouTube, I follow several culture warriors, and I watch it, get those little updates.
Yeah.
And they all kind of everybody's looking for content, and it seems like, well, they're all ganging up on the Odyssey.
Right.
So yeah, that absolutely. When you said that, that's what I was like. Yeah, yeah, man. But here's my take. I've never seen a Christopher Nolan movie that wasn't well made.
Right.
Some I like more than others. I always go back to like The Prestige.
Yeah, I love The
that movie.
Prestige.
It was so good, and it got under my skin so bad. I'm never going to see it again. Okay, it's that. Yeah.
That final scene still haunt you?
Yes, sir, it does. Yes, it
See,
does.
but that's one of those movies that's even better with a rewatch because there's just so much to it.
Yeah, yeah. I still believe in Inception. I think they were robbed. I think that was the best movie of the year. One of the best I've ever seen. And even like Tenet, even though, like everyone says, and the drinker says, it's almost completely unapproachable. Anyways. But, I bet it's good up on the big screen. But yeah,
and he did what, Dunkirk as well?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, which I thought was.
It's really
That's not a movie I want to watch all the time, but I saw it in theaters and it was
really good.
remarkably done.
I thought it was perfect.
They
It's
did.
one of them just like absolutely just. Anyways,
That's kind of an
but I wanted to
accomplishment, though.
share
If you
that.
make a great grand war movie that people don't want to see again because it's too intense,
It had its
probably you've done a good
intended
job.
effect. It had an intended effect. That's right.
I had to see it several times for the Tom Hardy, as he was in his fighter plane working the coast, and it just that was one of the incredibly well written and done, and like I said, just Nolan movies usually just blow me away. I bet the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Gonna be
Now,
beautiful.
my big
No matter
takeaway for all
of
the
crap.
cultural critics trying to make content, like you said, I just told Troy this off of the air. Like you get into it and you're like, oh, this is the Odyssey. Like, okay, he's gonna hop on this island, and this happens, and this island, and this happens, and he's stuck on this island forever, and this happens back at Ithaca with Telemachus and the suitors, and like it's the Odyssey.
Yeah, I went through the Odyssey just recently. I'm trying to remember. Oh, where? Yeah, so the Odyssey is not far from my memory, my mind. But I'm not going to get hung up on little big deals. I want to see what.
Well, and recently, and it's great on audiobook, Stephen Fry did his telling of the Odyssey, and he mixes the Aeneid in there with it, and like it's pretty well done. Like you learn the myths that surround the Odyssey without having, because just be honest, even if you pick a pretty great translation, it's still a very different form of entertainment, a different form of storytelling than what we're used to. So you gotta prepare yourself. It's not exactly easy reading. The original.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. I'll get off. Thank y'all for your time. How
Thanks,
about
Sam.
that, fellas?
See you, buddy.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Return for Jeff.
Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, you need to check out a movie on Tubi. I watched it Saturday, and let me tell you, it gives you something to think about. Operation Terror.
Operation Terror?
Mm-hmm. It
What's-
deals with 9/11,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Well, this is the one you sent me an email about.
it may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely need to check it out because it, all the theories they've had about how the buildings have imploded and all that.
Yeah.
This kind of just proves the whole thing.
Okay.
To me.
Operation
It's a good movie.
Terror.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Jeff. I'll have to check it out on Tubi, you said.
All right. Yes, on Tubi.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
272-9228. Hey, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services.
All right.
And they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and that great team are ready to help you out, especially if you're getting eaten up.
No, man.
Eaten up by those terrible mosquitoes.
When we were playing D&D last night, we were out on the porch earlier, and it's like, oh, we got to go inside.
Yeah, you should have called Pest
Oh,
Pro.
I know, I'm
At
gonna
least
have to.
treat I know you got a lot of land and stuff, so it's like treat right around the house and the
I think
porch.
I'm going to
and,
do that. Yeah.
Like they can help you out, folks. If you want to enjoy your property, if you want to enjoy the backyard at least or the front porch, they can spray, and that way you don't have to spray yourself or use candles that don't work. All these other options. Instead, you'll just have a mosquito-free area.
Nice.
Which is probably good for your health in the long run. You don't want to risk getting bitten by a nasty, nasty creature like that. And of course, PestPro can also help you with wildlife control. Say a little critter tries to make a home out of your home, then get it out of there and make sure the property's secure after. And of course, they offer a great basic pest control package. On top of that, you can also get termite inspection and protection year round. So call them up today. That's 265-9990, 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell them that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. Now, earlier I said perhaps, like maybe this is the speculative project about the convention center is a field of dreams, which is not, it's not a put down. I think it's an accurate description of what they're selling of if we build it, they will come. Like Montgomery downtown needs that expansion. If we want to get big events, if we want to get big conventions, if we want to get the Democratic National Convention, for instance, we need a big convention. Yeah, but no, I'm not joking. Like that's kind of the idea here. And so we want to do these big things and be this big bright blue dot in a sea of red that is Alabama. With our unique history, we need to put this money out there. And it's like a field of dreams. Build it and they will come. But then I mentioned it could be a Tower of Babel. Now, I don't mean like literally the people of Babel are trying to glorify themselves, but the basic idea is this. As I say in the piece, are you looking to glorify God or glorify man with the city you're building? And that's not just Montgomery, that's everywhere.
Sure it is.
And I feel like these days we are stuck in this idea of the material, stuck in this idea of ambition for ambition's sake to glorify men and not glorify God. Just thinking about all the types of projects that we have, not everything's bad, but it does seem like we are much more caught up on the economic instead of the moral. That the economic's leading us and the moral is a secondary concern.
And in using your analogy, if we want to say the Tower of Babel, in that quest to glorify man and the city, that's when the language barrier will come. But it will be profiteering, it will be backstabbing, it will be basically corruption will be its hallmark, I would imagine.
Well, and another thing too is, like actually the Pope Leo put this in his papal encyclical on AI. Like, are we building with AI the Tower of Babel, or are we like Nehemiah rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem? And one way to think about that distinction is the Tower of Babel accrues to a few people. Like the benefits accrue to only a few, whereas Nehemiah's instruction to everybody is just take care of your part of the wall.
Right.
And it's about resolving for the locals to not just build a wall, but regain their identity. And who they are, and reconstruct their past and connect them to a possible future. And you got to wonder with and again, this is not exclusive to Montgomery. I think this is a general issue with a lot of modern cities, in particular modern American cities, is we think, a sports complex and entertainment venue and stuff will be great. And part of me thinks that we're missing our priorities. We've got them misordered. Now, I'm not the only one thinking this. In fact, watch the whole thing over the weekend. This is the vice president, J.D. Vance, sitting down with Bishop Robert Barron. And they were talking about this distinction, very Augustinian distinction between the city of God and the city of man.
Every society, whether it considers itself secular or not, every society has an underlying theology.
Worship something.
It worships something.
Right.
And I think that if you are worshiping the right things, a lot of virtue and a lot of goodness will flow from it. If you're worshiping the wrong things, eventually you're going to go off track.
You know, Paul Tillich, the Protestant theologian, who was a great devotee of Augustine, said that. He said, all you need to know about a person or a society, you can derive from the question, what do you worship?
Interesting.
What's of highest value to you?
Yeah.
I found that in spiritual direction with people. What are you worshiping? What are you after? And then everything else will fall in place around that central question.
And of course, this applies to individuals, private families, and households, and it certainly applies to cities and nations. And if you just don't focus just on Montgomery, think about America and what we worship, what we truly value, and including folks that say not only Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, practically, like in your day-to-day, are you building Tower of Babel, or are you admiring Babel, or are you, getting to work with Nehemiah to rebuild your part of the
I
wall.
would argue there's very little Nehemiah in any of this administration. With the, let's just be honest. Let's take a look at the plundering of public funds, with the overtime, with the someone sitting on the city council, for God's sake, that doesn't belong. With Steve Reed trying to contract with a friend down in Louisiana that has no proof of concept, no record of performance to put on a response team for traffic accidents and stuff. We know they worship at the temple of Baal of money.
Well, and
Or
if
pay
I
money.
would,
He's the demon of money.
and also like it's interesting to hear JD Vance. Like I would ask the vice president, could you apply it? Now he won't do this in public; it'd be unfair. But how would you apply it to the current presidential administration? Because I think there are a lot of projects that are being done
Glorify him.
that glorify man and not God.
Not God.
And it's
I
not
agree.
just Donald Trump in particular, though.
Though it
He
is.
certainly has some narcissism going on. But I mean, like the AI question is fascinating. Like, especially when you bring in the arms race aspect of it with China. Like, what exactly are we building? Are we building it to the benefit of everyone?
Right.
And I would trust the United States more than China, but you know, I'm biased. I'm an American.
They're just as likely to do something wrong.
But it's, you know, these questions affect everybody. And in your own life, it's a great question to ask. What do you worship? Truly worship every day when you wake up and when you go to bed? Where's your mind?
Speaking of Pope Leo, real fast, and I maybe missed it last week because I hate to break this to you. I don't listen to the show all the time when I'm not here, but when I'm in the car, I'll put it on. And anyways, I support you 100% all the time, though. Did you see Leo? You may have addressed this. Leo took a shot across the bow of John Fetterman.
No, I didn't see
You didn't see this?
No.
Okay, I'll send it to you on X. It essentially, here's how it went. Leo said it's terribly troubling to see Senator Fetterman not support the immigration fight, to let all people, you know, the Pope's kind of taking a stance about the immigration thing, and Fetterman fired back and said, you know, one thing that I admire most about people in positions of influence and power is that they are open to interpretations of other people's ideas rather than castigating them as a spiritual failure in the regard. It was pretty profound. I was like,
yeah, I'd have to see
I thought of you. So I'll send it to you.
No, with any Pope quote, I want to see the Pope say it himself.
I got you. I know
where he's coming from. But actually, Vance addresses that, talking to Bishop Barron, saying he gets very frustrated with the church leadership, the Catholic Church's leadership, because they stay at this high platitude level of respect and, you know, love the stranger. But then also the church in its own catechism affirms nations' right to secure and manage their own borders and sovereignty. And so they stay at this high platitude level of saying both things, and they never get down into the details of like, well, are you just going to criticize me if I try to say enforce sovereignty in the border at all? Or, and because there's a lot of downside, including immoral, evil stuff that goes on because of that huge migration corridor.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's interesting to see the dynamics, because as much as I believe it is the church founded by Jesus Christ, it is still men who are the shepherds, and sometimes the shepherds ain't doing a great job. But, you know, I'm happy to show deference in the sense of I ain't the vice president, and I ain't the president, I ain't the Pope. In fact, I ain't the mayor. I ain't a city councilman. Like, it's easy for me to sit here in a critic seat and make all these points.
You mean that's not the mercy chair over there?
The mercy chair.
It's not the mercy chair, huh?
The mercy seat?
You don't mercy seat. You know, I was being facetious.
No, I would be.
You would be.
I am not clean.
You would be disintegrated.
Yeah, you ever seen Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Well, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
But I've seen some other stuff that tells how it worked. But all right, I was just wondering. I thought that was the mercy seat, mercy chair, I call it.
272-9228. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey guys, this is Keith from Rivik.
Hey Keith.
Hey Keith.
How's it going, Joey? How's it going, Troy?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I'll throw this out. I've got a nice little colonoscopy tomorrow.
Good luck with that.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Good luck.
This
Yes.
is
Prayers for you.
Yeah. This is the prep day, so this is the not fun day, so I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right at home. But doesn't keep me from being able to call into your show.
Good.
So lots of stuff going on. As you well know, the Take Care of American Veterans Act, which I hope is dying, From what I'm seeing on Facebook, it looks like lots of VFW folks are stepping up and talking.
Yep.
Admiral Davis has even told me that there's several Legion commanders in other states that are saying they will not support their national leadership.
I've seen that as well. Yeah, saw that as well.
So this thing needs to die. This Representative Bose from Illinois, this thing needs to die because it's bad news.
It stalled out. Is what I think this morning. I said it has pretty much come to a loggerhead stall out, but we'll see what happens. Let's be honest, so Keith, and we know that the state leadership in some of these organizations betrayed us in SB 67. So it's not hard to make that jump rationally to understand how that might happen at a national level, right?
Sure. I agree. Well, I don't know what Secretary Collins is doing in the VA, but he needs to step up to the plate and listen to the veterans.
You know what? You know what I would tell you, and I'm going to tell you this. And Joe, you've heard me say this: the problem you have when you deal with a behemoth, a gargantuan agency such as the VA, if you look at the amount of funding it receives versus other departments of the government, you have the fiefdoms and the kingdoms of the SCSs that rule these halls, and they actually wield more power collectively than Doug Collins will ever have singularly. Mm-hmm. So it's just a sad fact.
Well, hey Troy, I saw your blog with Brian Dawson.
Yeah,
that was very good.
Thank you very much.
Job on that.
Yeah, we're very proud that we've been able to affect change through writing, which Joey and I have talked about this. It's rare you could look at something you've done and have a actual yield from it. And I think the big one really for us though was, yes, Capers was honored to work with all of them, but it was Dovetail Landing, getting that money back within 2 days and having state representative and a state senator go to the Admiral say that Carrico guy hit the nail on the head, Carrico. But anyways, you heard it. You heard the story at the end of how I got the Carrico thing, right? The Puerto Rican. That was funny. That was true story. It's a true story from Fort Benning. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, man, God bless you. I hope you're going to feel good tomorrow afterwards. And
we'll pray for you, Keith.
Clean bill of health, brother.
I appreciate it, Joey. But hey, I did want to say one other thing before I get off. Our candidate forum, we need more candidates. And I'm sad to say we're only hearing from Democrats. The Republicans have got to wake up and contact us and get signed up for this event.
That's amazing. I know that there's two that I've heard wanted to attend, but I'll get with you offline on that. That's concerning because they don't understand how important the veteran vote is. So
that's right.
I'll get with you.
They've got to be there to answer whatever the Democrats say on the other side of the aisle. And it's going to be I think it's going to be a really good event. We just need them to step up and agree to come.
Okay, I'll see what I can do on that. I'll get offline with you here after that show. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you, Keith. Got to hit a quick break here. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Clogged drain? Overflowing septic? Don't panic. Call the experts who've been solving plumbing problems in the river region for more than 50 years. The Tierce family's local Roto-Rooter team specializes in fast drain cleaning, septic repair, and installation. One call and your troubles are on their way down the drain. That's 272-7130 or visit rotorooteralabama.com. Roto-Rooter, always here when you need us.
Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And lethal troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest news, Alabama values.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. As we continue to track that tropical system in the northern Gulf, it's mostly going to leave us alone. Our forecast features a lot of heat, mostly sunny with a high temperature up to about 96 today, and the heat index close to the 105 danger range. Lows at night in the mid-70s. And each day this week, little day-to-day change as far as those random scattered showers and storms, which will be most prominent in the afternoon and evening hours, right on through the end of the week. Daily highs in the middle 90s. And each day, the heat index climbs very close to that 105 danger range. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phone. Talk to Papa B. Hey, Papa B. How you doing?
Hey, guys.
Hola.
Troy?
Hola.
Always good to hear from you, bud.
Yeah, good to hear from you.
So, you were talking about Secretary Collins and what he's up against with all these little fiefdoms and such in the VA. You know, all of these, what you would call fiefdoms, they would call people like Secretary Collins, or those that were appointed from the administration, the summer help.
Okay.
It's like they treat them as junior members, and we'll just kind of teach them the ropes a little bit and that kind of thing. They really don't take them too seriously, do they, Troy?
No, they don't. They really don't.
And now, recently, though, we do have a little bit of help coming from the Supreme Court, whereby all these little guys, they're going to have to straighten their act out.
Yep, that was by design. That was by design, Papa B. Not to interrupt you. That move is about accountability with our senior civil service groups that have been in power. Really, not just at the VA,
but now
Papa
the
B,
president's
everywhere.
in power.
Now the president. That's right.
Absolutely. And so the president can just fire their happy little butt.
He certainly
and
can.
that is a new thing that they're not used to dealing with. So I think they're going to have to straighten up and fly right, Troy.
I hope so, brother. I'm telling you, man. Listen, I tell people this all the time, guys. Nothing, not a darn thing will change in our government until you take the warlords out of each of the equations of these agencies.
They probably need to do it just as a general purpose house cleaning.
Absolutely.
When a change agent comes into an organization, I mean, they pretty much just fire everybody.
Yeah.
And then they hire back who they want to hire back.
Well, I would argue in this case for the federal government, you go to those senior 13s, senior 14s, senior 12s that are really doing the heavy lifting and get them in a program. There's a program called OLE. I attended it at Fort Leavenworth for senior civilian servants. It's called Organizational Leadership for Executives. As a 14, it prepared me to be a 15 and an SES, and I got 15 finally. But it's something you go to. It's a very, very tough course, like Command General Staff College, but they don't really address any of the fiefdoms. But yeah, you're right. We need to get that under tow.
That is what we have referred to over the years as the deep state.
Yeah, it is.
They are the ones that control everything, and as a matter of rule, as a matter of just the course of regular business in the government, it doesn't matter who you elect. It's not going to, matter except, maybe a little bit. But now I think, things are going to change. So I hope so anyway.
Well, I tell Joey all the time, for those people eating the black pills, let me just say this. Let me preface it this way. It's not as deep as you think. It's really just below the surface, and it's not as intelligent and sinister as you think. It's a confederacy of self-serving dunces, is what it is.
I've never heard it put that way.
No, I'm just telling you guys, listen, if I say this, if they couldn't get my pay right when I was with DIA, I worked for DIA as an intelligence officer on an Army Manning roster, getting paid by NSA so they could not trace me in the system. If someone was compromised the system and looked at payroll, they would not see me with DIA, okay? And so that was by design. But they could not get my pay right, Joey, when I go downrange. And I go, you think they're organizing some sort of dominance of the world? They can't even get their payroll right. Anyways,
there are those that will and do, I think, but you're right. As a general rule, no, they can't think their way out of a wet paper bag. No, do they care to? They don't have to.
They don't have to. That's the thing. They're happy being dumb, fat, and rich is what they are.
So, and I just would say, I just say one thing about. So, back before the VA, the hospital part of VA was reformed as much as it has been. Martha Roby, I think, led the charge on that.
She did.
Was one of those that led the charge. They treated the veterans like wards of the state, like cattle. You didn't really do anything for them. They just, ran them through the cattle gap, did a little bit, and ran them back out. So, but it was just like some of these teachers' unions. The union is there for the teachers, not the students. So the VA was there for the VA, not the veterans. But hopefully things will change there. But Joey, let me just say one other thing, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
About the Shroud of Turin. I know I'm off topic on that, but I just want to have one more shot at it, one more bite at the apple.
Okay.
So I know that some people will say, well, yeah, didn't they carbon date that, test that thing? And they did. Back in the 1980s. I want to say it's 88. Troy, maybe you can correct me on that. I don't know.
I think it was 88.
But I remember, I'm old enough to remember when that happened. And I remember when they cut the cloth, where they cut it, and I remember thinking they're not going to get a good result off of that. So they tested it, and it tested back to the 13th century. Well, or the 15th century, I can't remember which, but it didn't test back to 2000, back to the time of Christ. The shroud suffered through a fire in the 1500s. And the church at the time, got the nuns to reweave those damaged sections. So they were testing the damaged section from the 1500s. Of course you're going to get a fault, result. But having said that, Joey, let me ask you this. How would you like to be the one to cut the cloth?
Nah, man. I'm good.
Wherever there's
I'm not good with tools. I don't have a steady hand.
There is no way in the world I would do it. I couldn't do it. I'm not doing that.
Well, this is why you bring somebody who does this, who's truly a trained professional, has a specialty in this, and you get a tiny sliver, and you actually test the right thing.
I mean, I couldn't. The act of testing it would be like, I don't know, tough for me to even think about doing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and plus,
such
I
an
believe the church
article.
is going to require there's a huge lifelike crucifix staring at you the whole time you do it.
The Swiss papal guards with
Right.
their halberds over your
Right.
neck.
Yeah, don't mess up.
Don't mess that up.
Anyway, all right. I just food for thought. That's all.
Appreciate
All
I
right,
can dig
guys.
it.
Yeah. 272-922. And hey, let's go to Soldier Boy. Hey, Soldier Boy, how you doing?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Troy.
Yes, sir.
Is Nostradamus right? Is Armageddon happening in the Middle East soon?
You know, we got it. Well, I guess when we get to the
Well,
northern heights around Golan, we'll see.
Let me ask you a question. I see the Chinese and the Russian warships have entered the Persian Gulf.
What are they going to do?
Oh, stir the pot, baby.
No, they ain't going. The Russians can't get out of their own
And
way.
the Houthis are going to
No,
blockade the
Yeah,
Saudis.
I'm
now?
not really. Yeah. Well, listen. You know what's about to happen, don't you? Cry havoc and let's slip the dogs of war. And I'm telling you, these Gulf states have had a belly full, and we've kept them on a leash. Israel's about ready to launch. So they're going to find themselves in a world of hurt. And the only
I want to
reason
know why the King of Jordan,
Right.
the King of Jordan, is a fighter pilot.
Yeah, I know he's a wussy.
Okay.
He.
My question is, like you said, all these little small Middle Eastern countries haven't done anything, and they're getting hit.
Well, they
Okay.
have. The UAE has, and so has Saudi Arabia made certain selective strikes under the approval of the DOW.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now Russia and China have both been giving satellite pictures of our locations and our locations of our bases
Yeah.
that are getting hit and passing it on to Iraq. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Trump's going to have a hard time meeting with with China in the next month or so. I guess he's going to China.
Yes.
I'm going to have a hard time sitting across there. First of all, you did whatchamacallit, when we had the pandemic, okay, China. Now you're giving pictures of our locations, our military locations. So basically, those locations of those soldiers that got killed were given by China and Russian satellites, correct?
Yeah. Well, more than just that. Actually, specific target.
Kind of like we're giving the Ukrainians.
Yeah. I was going to say, come on, man. This is the great game. This is what we do.
Okay, so that Strait of Hormuz in the Persian Gulf is not that big. We got our fleet in there, basically. And now we got Russian and Chinese boats trying to navigate in that little narrow way.
Well, you talking about civilian boats or are you talking about military boats?
I'm talking military.
No,
They're
there's, listen,
practicing right now.
let me stop you right now. There's not a single ship crossing that parallel of any type without the U.S. Navy's approval, and they're not letting them in if they're
I
military.
understand that. But what if China wants to flex? I mean, right now they're practicing
With
right
what?
now.
I mean, listen. What with their Wuhan? With their what is it? The W200. Listen, they can't even. They're not even a blue water navy. They can't project more than 2 boats, 3 boats without tender. They're not going to do anything. They
What were you
need the
talking about?
oil. You heard what? What do you mean? What am I talking
talking about Russia?
No, we're talking about both of them. They don't listen. Do you realize the mitigation right now that is going on in terms of force projection, navally, anywhere in the world? America's the only country who can do it with any degree of veracity. I mean, I'm not trying to. I tell people this all the time. China is a brown green water navy.
Yes.
They only have 2 tenders. Okay, and they got one oiler.
Well, Troy, I disagree with you. They
Well-
just built their first catapult, and they're testing right now their first nuclear aircraft.
Look, I'm going to just say this. I have a PhD in military history. I know force structure. I'm telling you now, if you can believe what you want to believe, but there's no way that there's going to be any influence by China or Russia in that area of operations.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Are they going to take the island?
That I do not know. That I do not know. But I'm just telling
What
you.
do you think? What
My
do you
gut
think?
instinct. My gut instinct tells me that yes, we're going to.
Is
My
it
gut
just
instinct.
one island? Bob?
There's actually 2. Well, okay. Kark is what you're referring to. Kark, not
Kark's
the
the
other,
main
not the
one.
other ones, right?
Right.
I think they will, and I'll tell you why. I think that MEU that's out there, the 31st MEU that's setting right now on the USS Tripoli, was brought in to the AO with the intent of bad intentions to get and take. And the reason I think they're going to do that is I told Joey offline, Soldier Boy, in the next 72 to 96 hours, mark my words, you're going to see a strike on Pickaxe Mountain, which is really where the troubling remnants of the nuclear program reside. And you're going to see a massive combined campaign probably between the willing Gulf states on targeting and Israel to knock out key nodes of the remainders of people that we have deemed as being, problematic on the ground.
Troy, do you remember the Messerschmitt Me-262 jet fighter from Germany?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that if they could have built enough of them and quick it could have changed the tide of the war.
There's a lot of things.
Which along with the V-2 rocket. Okay. Okay. And along with that, the reason why they were built kind of like the drones from Iraq right now. They're building them on the ground that we can't reach them and we can't track them.
Did you know that in 1939, the British had a radio frequency control system that they armed mosquitoes as drones? So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Well, and I'm out of time, Soldier Boy.
Okay, buddy,
I got
good
to
call.
run, babe.
Thanks.
Thanks. 272-9228. This part of the program, in fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you out with buying a home, especially if you're first time purchasing a home. They can walk you through that process. It all begins at pre-approval. Don't waste time with online mortgage calculators, or I went to Zillow.
How'd that work out for
A
you?
pre-approval from Alabama Home Mortgage helps you shop with confidence instead of it being a big guessing game. You actually want a solid foundation as you enter into the market as a buyer. And, of course, they can walk with you every step of the way from pre-approval all the way to closing day. Or if you're looking to refinance, maybe to shore up a retirement fund or get some debt off your back or reinvest in the family or your property, whatever your goals are, Alabama Home Mortgage can help you out accessing that equity in your home.
What about veterans, Joey?
Oh, they specialize in helping veterans. They're the latest with the VA mortgage program. It remains one of the strongest home financing options available here in the market. You're leaving money on the table if you're a veteran and you're not taking advantage of these benefits you earn through your service. So check them out today. You can always call up Alabama Home Mortgage direct at 567-4223. That's 567-4223, or you can apply online real quick at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a political activist.
That's right, man.
And could you please explain to us your red cap with the letters MMRGA?
Yeah, man, this is my MARGA hat.
MARGA?
Yeah, man, that stands for Make My Retirement Great Again.
I see.
And to do that, what you need to do is call David Ernest,
the asset preservationist.
That's right, man. You can call David at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
And I understand that's a toll-free number.
Yeah, man. Get David Ernest on the case, and your retirement will be great again.
And you make these hats?
I do. Here's a whole pile left from the last administration.
And they say CPWABD.
Yeah, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude.
And as you said, there's a whole pile here.
Well, there wasn't much demand.
I can dig it.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Joey. How are you?
I'm good. Good Monday so far. Going easy. And Troy's here with me.
Yeah, it's Eddie-less Mondays, remember?
Look at this, Batman and Robin.
Which one is Batman? Which one's
Don't
Robin?
even start up with that. Well, it beats when it's just Eddie and I here on Wednesdays. It's the ambiguously gay duo, right?
No, it's the Wonder Twins.
Well, yeah.
From Justice League.
But you repeat what I say. Yes.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, don't be the double mint twins.
So how's it going there today at Cohen's?
Man, it's going great.
Awesome.
Going great. I've got a customer that we had to go to war with the warranty company over his almost 5-year-old refrigerator. It was very nice for him to come into the store with his wife. He picked out a new unit and going to pay the difference between that and what his old one was. And anyway, it was just nice to meet him. Super nice family, husband, wife, and the kid. And so anyway, that was always a good ending to a battle that we had to go to with the warranty company for them. And then everybody else is getting taken care of, selling big TVs, and one guy was getting a 65 and a 75, and another guy that was getting a 65 and I think it's a 43. And he's also going out to run the service call in Lowndes County as well. So went to Wetumpka, went to, I think, Eclectic, and then he's running down to Lowndes County. So he's got a full day, and we're just rocking and rolling.
Yeah,
Looking
folks.
for some more of your listeners to come in.
Yeah, folks, you don't have to be right here in Montgomery. They serve the entire river region, the entire area. Happy to come to you. And, of course, you can always check them out at thinkcohens.com or stop by the Boulevard at 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery, open 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And please, folks, tell whether you find Michael or one of the great team members over there at Cohen's. Tell them you heard Michael on the radio with Joey and whoever was there that day.
Well, we know if there was only one, it's Troy.
That's right. Hey, Mike, do you got any more of those? You were talking last week about the 85 Sony. You found a couple in the back room. Did you sell
It's a Samsung.
Yeah, Samsungs.
And
I'm sorry. Did you?
Yeah.
You sold them? Okay.
I still have them.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to come by and see you then, probably.
It's a good TV.
All right. Fantastic. Look forward to meeting you.
I look forward to meeting you, and we can tell Eddie stories.
That's right.
That's right. You can tell. You've been talking to him a lot longer than me.
Eddie's out there blushing somewhere.
He is. He's ever
It's
going.
like somebody
oh,
talking about me.
My butt's itching. Or my
I don't
neck's
care what you say about me. Just spell the name right.
That's right, brother.
Well, I appreciate
Thank
it, Michael.
y'all.
Bye,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Yes, sir.
We got it at this top of the hour break. We have a new missive from Troy Carrico on the other side of this.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
Bob Agnew in Washington. A suspect is in custody after an attack outside a federal building in New York City injured 2 people. And the FBI says 1 person is now in custody. The Joint Terrorism Task Force is taking a closer look. That building houses several federal offices, including the FBI's New York office and an immigration court. U.S. Central Command says another American service member has died during Operation Epic Fury. The service member was killed in northern Iraq during the controlled detonation of unexploded ordnance from a downed Iranian attack drone. The president's new plane is getting an upgrade to make it safer. The president telling reporters that the new Air Force One will be taken out of commission for a few weeks for a major security upgrade. It's been a mixed day so far on Wall Street. The Dow right now down 180 points. The Nasdaq doing well. It's being buoyed by a big surge in AI stocks in the high-tech sector. This is SRN News.
Spring is here, and if you're staring at a home improvement project, wondering how you're going to pay for it, or looking at a big credit card bill piling up, I want you to know about my friends Mike and Brian and the team at Fellowship Home Loans. For over 20 years, Mike and Brian have been helping families like yours tap into something they already have, equity in their own home, a HELOC, a cash-out refi, a debt consolidation loan to wipe out those high-interest credit cards. Whatever fits your situation, Fellowship Home Loans will build it around you. Everything's done in-house, one roof, one team, all with a servant-led mentality. From your very first phone call to closing, you're going to get people who know your name and treat you like family. I know, I'm a customer. Right now, they're offering a free mortgage checkup, no pressure, just a real look at your options. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819.
Rich Thomas weather is brought to you by Victoryland.
Win a BMW X7 or your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's BMW and $25,000 free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too.
Rich Thomas weather. Well, hi, everybody. As we continue to track that tropical system in the northern Gulf, it's mostly going to leave us alone. Our forecast features a lot of heat, mostly sunny with a high temperature up to about 96 today, and the heat index close to the 105 danger range. Lows at night in the mid-70s. And each day this week, little day-to-day change as far as those random scattered showers and storms, which will be most prominent in the afternoon and evening hours, right on through the end of the week. Daily highs in the middle 90s. And each day, the heat index climbs very close to that 105 danger range. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
1819 News.
The National Republican Congressional Committee is setting its sights on an Alabama congressional race. The NRCC is seeking to help unseat Democrat Shamari Figures as he runs to retain that seat in Congressional District 2. That district has recently returned to the 2023 district lines rather than a majority of minority voters. Figures will now be up against a Republican candidate who is determined by the August 11th special primary election. The NRCC is now offering financial contributions within this special primary race to counter Figures' far-left agenda. Back in 2024, President Trump won that congressional district with a 14% margin. President Trump has already endorsed Rhett Marquez as he runs against 5 other candidates in the special primary. Marquez is also keeping pace with Figures when it comes to campaign fundraising efforts. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
Family members of 3-year-old KJ Starks Jr. honored the life of the little boy 1 year after he died in a hot car death. The celebration of life was held in Bessemer on Sunday. The little boy was in the care of a contracted DHR worker when he was left inside that worker's car while she went inside her home. The contracted worker is now facing manslaughter charges in the little boy's death. The mother of the little boy, along with other family members, say that their desire for justice in KJ's death has not wavered throughout this past year. I'm Andrea Tex.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get a lot of questions about what all we handle at Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader, and we will handle all of your real estate needs.
We handle all your buying and selling needs, from your first home, next home, land, investment property, and even commercial properties.
We do it all and have the experience that shows you what makes us different.
So when you think real estate, think Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. Look us up on Facebook or give us a call at 334-368-6358. And let us show you who you have on your sign matters.
What are you getting? Still deciding, but I do know on August 11th, I'm choosing Rhett Marcus for Congress. Why Rhett Marcus? Because he's a true conservative, endorsed by President Trump and Senator Katie Britt. Oh, then you can trust him. And he's a small business owner, not a politician. Sounds like this choice on August 11th is the easiest decision we'll ever make.
Remember to vote on August 11th. I'm Rhett Marcus, the Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rhett for Alabama.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just one dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final hour of the program. Montgomery still needs a new mayor, folks, but we've said enough about that for today. There's always tomorrow. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me, and you've written something up again for this week.
I have to preface this with a caveat. Robin, don't crucify me when I come home, but this is my thoughts on a very real topic to a lot of people across the nation now, as we've seen the protests and the fights going on over the data center. So it's called dark and low clouds on the horizon. Clouds play clever for cloud computing, which is driving this. America's data center reckoning. Dark and low clouds gather on the technological horizon, heavy with the weight of cloud computing that powers our digital world. These formations are not merely metaphoric. They signal the explosive boom in data centers sweeping the United States, with Alabama squarely in its crosshairs. This infrastructure surge is not an optional luxury, but a battlefield necessity in the global contest for ultimate dominance. Yet a rising tide of opposition and protest now threatens to stall our advance, revealing fractures in national will at the precise moment when the strength of unity must prevail. Nationwide discord has intensified as communities mobilize against proposed facilities. Demonstrations highlighted genuine worries, but too often they mask a deeper reluctance to confront hard realities. In Alabama, the fight carries special urgency. Recently, Senator Tommy Tuberville has declared and delivered a blunt ultimatum declaring that the data centers are coming and the public had better get used to it, or words to that effect. His crass clarity rings like a commander's order as he eyes the governorship next year, Joey. It cuts through the noise with the unapologetic resolve America needs. Hesitation here invites strategic defeat later. Critics hammer the familiar complaints: voracious water use, relentless noise, waste heat pouring into the environment, and even a broader potential ecological strain. Environmental strain. Those challenges going forward have been noted. These challenges demand smart engineering and strict oversight, not blanket obstruction. The real war lies elsewhere, folks. We stand locked in a fierce arms race right now, unlike any before, with China over technological superiority. Beijing fears our momentum in this critical node for artificial intelligence and advanced systems. And evidence, Joey, even points to a coordinated Chinese disinformation campaign aimed at deterring the American public's support for development. They seek to weaken us from within, just as they did during the recent elections that have been exposed, while racing ahead of themselves while we sit idle. We cannot afford to play their game. Much of the pressure originates from our own habits, however. Citizens demand constant connectivity through gaming, Ring cameras, home security systems, digital phones, and endless cloud storage for videos and data. Every convenience feeds directly into this monster and this massive hard drive farm, and they make the cloud that you talk of a reality in a hard drive sitting somewhere. We cannot condemn the footprint of this behemoth while craving its output and benefit. Such inconsistency erodes the foundation of our progress. Energy consumption remains the central vulnerability, however. These centers devour power on a colossal scale. Quantum computing offers future efficiencies, yet practical deployment lies years ahead. In the meantime, we pay the price for past folly. The myopic environmental fringe lunatics have spent decades demonizing nuclear power, sabotaging the very infrastructure that could have sustained this boom with very little effort. Had we maintained the nuclear momentum of an early decade instead of abandoning it in the 1970s and 1980s, we would command an abundant, clean energy platform that would threaten China even greater. It is a well-known fact that the United States Navy has proven the point decisively. In microreactors, they've operated flawlessly and safely, Joey, for over 70 years in the most demanding conditions at sea. Their record silences the naysayers, shames the green idiots, and lights the path forward. The Carrico Doctrine, forged from 5 combat tours with the U.S. Army and numerous clandestine assignments worldwide with DIA, demands definitive action. Be the actor, not the reactor. In essence, ass-kicking violence on the objective, metaphorically speaking, solves problems where overthinking and indecision breeds paralysis. Applied to this particular problem, it requires us to now seize the initiative, build aggressively, and mitigate impacts through American innovation and oversight rather than retreat. In closing, Alabama possesses the location, the leadership, the fighting spirit to lead this charge, and a definite need for advanced critical infrastructure to our decks. We must reject the dark clouds of manufactured discord. Instead, let us harness them into a thunderclap of national resurgence. Data centers represent the hardened infrastructure of future dominance. Through decisive resolve and unwavering commitment, we can either secure victory or yield it to China on this vital battlefield. The horizon belongs to those bold enough to claim it.
You're here. You're here. Troy Carrico, folks. And
it's a hot topic.
I agree.
It's a hot topic right now.
No, I think you lay out the big picture quite well. In particular, that the nuclear power question is nuts. For decades, the U.S. Navy's been deploying that effectively. And we're still stuck in the 1970s, worried about 3 Mile Island or something. Of all folks, it was Vivek Ramaswamy. I remember bringing that up in that 2020 campaign.
He was right.
And he's right. 100% right.
There's no reason why we're not doing it. And Joey, here's the thing about it. Here's the thing. Okay, so why would people oppose it if we know that it's inherently safe? If you look at the production versus accidental rates and the type of reactors we run, Joey, it comes down to one thing, the dollar. The Alabama Power wouldn't be making much money if you had private startups of these firms making reactors and tying in. So I don't know if we'll ever get there. Hey, a la Nikolai Tesla, I'm going to make energy free for everybody. And they basically locked him up, right?
Yeah.
You ain't doing that, young man.
272-9228 if you want to get in on that. And while we're waiting for some more calls to roll in, again, that's 334-272-9228. You mentioned Liz Fillmore said this.
Yeah.
But this is 1819 News reporting. Just came out after 2 o'clock from Caleb Taylor.
Okay.
What's up, Caleb?
Hey,
That's
Caleb.
a good dude right
I
there. That's
love
a man's
Caleb. I
man
love
right
Caleb.
there. What did you say that? He's a man's man.
He's a man amongst men.
Indeed. Construction on the new Alabama State House is on schedule to be completed in time for the next legislative session.
Yeah.
Members of the Legislative Council approved contracting with the RSA in September 2023 to design and build a new State House. We're still on track and still on schedule. The last meeting that we had, we were still under budget. We feel good about that. Pat Harris, Secretary of the Senate, told 1819 News on Monday. That's basically where we are. You've got about 300 to 350 people working every day on the inside of the building. You can still see people on the outside, but most of the work is going on the inside, hanging ceilings, pulling wire, laying flooring, all the sheetrock is done. That's a good place to be. We're in good shape. We feel good about it. Of course, the project costs will be reimbursed to the RSA by the state with an 8% administrative fee added. That's not too, actually. That's
not too bad on
not
it.
too bad.
What's the total budget on it? Like $3 billion.
Off the top
That's a
of my head, I
lot.
don't
It's a
know.
lot. I know that.
The state could either buy the property from RSA after its completion or enter into a 25-year lease agreement that would eventually also make the state the property owner. The new state house will be located behind the old one, if you haven't been down there in a while. The old state house will eventually be demolished and replaced with a big green space area. The contract will be let by RSA probably by the end of this month, and they'll probably start deconstruction of this building probably in late November, early December. So actually, that is moving along. So by the end of this year, they'll be taking down the old state house. They'll have to take this building down in sections. So, of course, the current state house opened in 1963 as the Alabama Highway Department building. It housed the Alabama Department of Transportation, then known as the Alabama State Highway Department, until 1985 when the legislature moved in. Harris said staffers will begin moving into the new state house in late November or early December. So, okay. Well, as long as you get it done before the session. Anyway. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Rockin' Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Oh, no. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
Well, you did very well, Troy, with that. But the main thing about the data centers is they're so secretive. They've started things that they didn't let the people okay.
You're referring to the NDAs, aren't you? You're referring to the non-disclosure agreements that a lot of politicians signed on those things, and that is troubling. It is truly troubling.
There is money being changed hands behind scenes. There's something going on, and it just isn't about the environment, which is huge with the water, but it is about our representatives doing it behind our back, and that is, for me, is the biggest thing. Of course, we know that we need data centers, but not the way they're doing it. And
I agree with that.
And of course, the nuclear, I think there's not too many people that would disagree with you with that. But to start it now, before they build the data centers, it's just too much red tape for them to do it. So they're going to do it the quickest way and behind people's back. And you can't, if you're representing the people, you can't say it's bad, it's coming.
You know, Joey, when she said that, something occurred. If you were, let's say you're the king for the day. If you were able to somehow disembowel the red tape piece of going forward with a nuclear program, even though it would take years probably to get into place, the legacy you would leave. Because think about the reduction of cost of production of things. Think about your average power bills. Think about your ability to expand. You know, I have a friend, Shane, who I talk about. He says, I could see a micro reactor in everybody's house one day, just a shoebox size reactor, like a septic tank in your backyard. And the thing is, why would that never happen? Simple, because there are too many people that would stand to lose money that are part of the system. And it would take a president willing to probably get shot and go forward. But you're right, Robin. And I didn't, when I wrote this last night, I purposely wanted to read it because I want to tell you why. There's more at stake here than just the water and our environment. If we fall behind, Joey will tell you, we talk about this. If we fall behind in this race, we're going to be really in a bad way in 40 years. Yep.
Well, that would be terrible. Except if we don't have any water, that would even be worse.
You know what I've said? I've always said water is probably the next. People will spend their last drop of oil, Joey, to get the last drop of water, and that's going to happen one day. So.
Amen. Well, anyway, I love you guys, and Joey, have a great week.
You too, Robin.
All right.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh, that was much smoother than I thought.
Yeah, I thought you were
no food for you tonight.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey, this is Babs.
Babs.
Great job, Troy, as
Thank you.
usual. I love listening to you.
Coming from you, that means a lot, Babs. You're a great American.
I just appreciate you coming to the show. But
I love
I was
Joey.
listening to your predecessor. I think that's the right word.
Yeah.
Sky and Scott this morning.
Yeah.
Talking the negatives about this. I was all for AI until I listened to them. And one of the things that really struck me is there's somebody in Texas, and there's a humongous big field of this stuff. And he said that, I don't know how long it's been, but he hasn't had a live calf born since they put that in, and he's about a mile from it. And something was said about keeping women from having babies, them not having a live baby. and there was something else I can't remember. So now I'm confused.
Okay, well, let me. Can I just?
Somebody just to
Confuses me.
No, but you said that there's a guy in Texas that he lives near one that was stand up and nobody's having babies anymore.
Cattle.
None of his cattle are having
Calves, yeah,
babies.
no calves. Yeah.
Babies they're not being born alive.
Let me just stop for a minute because I'm going to put on my DIA hat and my U.S. Army Corps of Engineers hat. When I was in D.C., so I want you to walk this dog with me. I lived in Winchester. I would go into a place. You cross over the mountain to go into D.C. about 50 miles away, and it was called Leesburg, Joey, in Leesburg, Virginia. And this isn't, listen, Babs, this was in 2009 through 2015. I was working with Google Earth on projects with the Corps of Engineers. And if you know anything about imagery, Joey, and you do, and Babs, the more clarity, the more compression, it takes more data storage. Yes. They built, Joey, I'm talking, take the shopping, take the Montgomery Mall, 12, 15 times the size of it, okay? Huge data center, and there was no problems in the farms around there. I'm telling you, there's truth in lending on both sides, but there's a lot of disinformation going around. I'd be very cautious about that before hearing, but that's just me. So,
well, I was going to call them, and my comment was going to be, good old Alabama, here we are going to be behind again.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, well, Mississippi's already signed up. They've got stuff going on.
Yeah. And we were always proud that we were behind, above Mississippi and everything.
You know, it's just sort of.
I don't know, but you know what? I don't have any say so anyway.
Hey, listen, you know what I love about Alabamians? They always go, well, and I went to Ole Miss, so you got to remember I went to Ole Miss. At least we're better in Mississippi. Well, it's sort of like Virginians saying, at least we're better in West Virginia. But guess what? That has changed since we went red to blue.
Mm-hmm. Mississippi's beating us on a lot of fronts.
What's that mean?
All right, gentlemen. Okay. I appreciate you letting me talk.
Thanks, Barry.
We love having you.
I love your show, Joey. You know I do. I love to listen to all your guests and the people that come and help you. But I do miss Eddie. So
I do too. I do too.
Love you, Barbara.
Hey, so what's that guy's name? Tate? Is it Tate?
Tate Reed.
Yeah, he's really good, man. He's really good.
I liked him since I heard his name. And then he's actually done incredible things. Mississippi's kicking butt on a lot of fronts. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
It is the Chicken Man.
Hey, Chicken Man.
I didn't make my point though real quick, and then I'm gonna hang up and let y'all talk about it. But going back to the mayor, the mayor gets paid a set. It pays him to do a job that he's supposed to be doing 24/7. And I think what has happened with the Mayor Reed, is that he is settled in his way of thinking and not looking for better-minded people than himself. Now people have got to understand that the police department doesn't fall totally on the mayor. And chief, he needs to build his department so other departments can look back and say, well, wait a minute, how are they doing what they're doing? And how are they, doing better in crime rates? And yet the chief needs to step up too. With the mayor, the mayor should extra hand beforehand. Well, y'all have a good day.
Appreciate it, Chicken Man. No disagreement.
You know what they have a saying in the government, and you probably heard it before, but best practices. Best practices, that's the term. Mm-hmm. You look at other departments, you look at other agencies, how are they doing it? Are they having success? And why recreate the wheel, Joey, if there's better ways out there? But
But enough of all
Steve's
that.
Smarter than the rest of us.
Enough of all that.
Yeah, let's talk about something funny.
Another missive. You gave one from Nobunaga.
Oh, no, is he still with us? Good.
In Georgia, I entered a Chick-fil-A drive-thru line of 40 cars.
Okay.
I turned off my engine. I prepared to wait the way my ancestors waited out a siege. 6 minutes later, I was holding chicken. I do not know what happened to the other 39 cars. The line moved like water, had somewhere to be. A young woman walked between the cars, taking orders on a small tablet, on foot, in the sun, smiling like the sun was her idea. I said, "Thank you." She said, "My pleasure." I did not think about it then. I should have. At the window, I thanked the young man for the food. My pleasure. I thanked him for the sauce. My pleasure. I thanked him for thanking me. My pleasure. I want to be clear about what was happening. This was a duel. In Japan, I trained in courtesy for 40 years. Bowing angles, seasonal greetings, the correct depth of apology for 17 distinct situations. I was a white belt in that drive-through. I escalated. I used my most formal English. I thanked him on behalf of my entire family line. He said, "My pleasure," and gave me extra sauce. Extra sauce, unprovoked, a counterattack. I returned the next day to reclaim my honor. It was Sunday. The restaurant was closed. All of them were closed in the entire country. They close every Sunday, and they have closed every Sunday since the beginning because the founder made a promise, and the promise did not expire when he did. I stood in the empty parking lot and understood I had lost twice. Once to a teenager with sauce, once to a man I will never meet, who kept his word, so long it became a building. In my country, we saw a samurai's word is his life. We say a samurai's word is his life. I had never seen a restaurant say it back. I returned Monday. I ordered, and this time I said it first before she could. My pleasure. She smiled and said, "It sure is. America, I surrender. It was my pleasure." I love this guy, like having fun.
Well, you know what's funny is it came off the idea of the World Cup, but now let's just say that he's going to stay here and he's going to just live amongst us.
I would love if he stayed.
Yeah.
Well, and he had another one from a day ago. That was from 3 days ago. This is another one from a day ago. It's shorter. It's a less, well, I'll just read it. In Arizona, I drove to the edge of the earth, the Grand Canyon. It was the first time in my life I had nothing to say. A ranger in a flat hat told me the rock at the bottom is 2 billion years old. I asked who this belongs to. Everyone. It's a national park. I paid $35. For $35, I received 2 billion years of Earth, a sunset that was being painted while I watched in a parking spot. In my country, the most beautiful garden belongs to the emperor. In this country, the most beautiful canyon belongs to a family in matching T-shirts eating trail mix out of a Ziploc bag. They were taking a photograph. The mother said, "Everybody say Grand Canyon." And they said it, and it echoed. And I think the canyon said it back. $35, 2 billion years. Everybody. This country is out of its mind, and I am never leaving.
Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Very cool. Now, did you watch any of the final?
Oh, yeah, I watched. Yeah, I did.
I watched some of the first half, got bored. We watched some show, and then took it back to watch the end, thinking maybe we'll get to penalty or to kickoff.
Extra time, yeah. Extra time.
But yeah, the final stretch was actually exciting.
It's very good. And, you know, of course, they want to talk about how Trump's man-child behavior on stage. Come on, stop, man. Just stop it.
I saw the Spanish players loved it.
I know. That the problem is that's not their narrative. They want
if anything, the Argentinian team was like they were acting kind of like man-children because they got in a scuffle at the end and then turned their backs on the Spanish.
They also dropped that banner about the Falklands.
Oh,
you didn't know that?
No.
After they beat the Three Lions, England, the other day. So some fans had a sign that says the Falklands are Argentinian, and they brought it out. And and listen, the Royal Navy. How can I say this without being a butthole? The one Royal Navy ship in the Western Hemisphere that they have sailed through the Strait of Falkland. It goes, and it sent out a signal that said, "Congratulations for beating us, but we still own the islands." And they sailed a ship.
Thank
freedom
you
of navigation.
to Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
272-9228. We got to hit this break. More after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here are several ways to attract more buyers to your home. First, price it right to sell, not to sit. An accurate market analysis will tell you what price it should be. Next, prepare the home to show and sell by deep cleaning by a professional cleaner, including carpet. Declutter all rooms, including closets. Evaluate flooring, replace if needed. Paint inside and out where needed. And make the kitchen and bath sparkle. How about the exterior? Are the colors faded on the shutters or fascia? Power washing them and all sidewalks and driveways and patios prior to listing the house. Remember, your price and curb appeal will create a showing appointment. Your condition of the house will make them stay and look longer and buy quicker. For all the steps you need to take to get your house ready for sale, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 334-221-2883 or 334-551-0225.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a man from outer space.
What's up, Earthling?
I see you've landed your spacecraft over there in that field.
That's right, man.
My question is, why have you landed here on our planet?
I came to see David Ernest.
The asset preservationist?
Yeah, man. I wanted to see if he would take a look at my portfolio for me.
Well, before you make the trip over there, call him on his toll-free number, 833-596-7233.
And I understand those last 4 digits spell out the word safe.
That is correct.
Funny thing happened the last time I came to Earth.
What was that?
I went to the Walmart, man.
Yes?
And I accidentally went in the back door.
How did that work out?
Well, they stopped me and very gently told me that I needed to go around front and come in.
And then what did you do?
I said, cool, man. Take me to your greeter.
You flew millions of miles just for that.
Hey, man, I don't ride them. I just read them.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Well, hi, everybody. As we continue to monitor that tropical weather in the northern Gulf of Mexico, most of the effects will stay south of us. Tonight, some evening storms will be roaming around. Some towns will get wet. Most towns won't. Overnight low in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and probably Friday as well. Look for high temperatures at least in the middle 90s. And the heat index each day getting close to the 105 danger range, with lows at 70s at night. And of course, those scattered random afternoon and evening showers and storms will be around each day. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. So, you know how sometimes politicians will change their accent?
Yeah. So I do know that.
And I never do that.
Hey, you know you don't.
Yeah, I never change my voice. But here is AOC. I don't know if this is how bad this is. I've waited to listen to it right now.
Okay.
So we could all do it together.
Okay.
So this is apparently AOC stumping for Justin J. Pearson for Congress, and they're in Memphis.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to try it, ain't she?
Mm-hmm.
Dirty South. Dirty South.
Or is she going to go full Stax Records on this? What?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's listen in. The AOC stumping for Justin J. Pearson for Congress in Memphis, Tennessee.
And the efforts that it took for them to get to that moment, we must double as we descend here on Memphis to organize and care for our brothers and sisters.
Your comrades.
We cannot afford to leave Tennessee behind.
Oh, no.
Tennessee.
We cannot afford to leave Kentucky behind, Alabama behind, Mississippi behind, Georgia behind.
Behind.
Oh, my God, man. That's sick.
Okay, hold on. Like,
I can't.
The beginning is like, she's fine. It's just
She's
her
normal
voice.
there, but when she says the state,
Yeah, let's
Tennessee.
behind.
Come on, quit it.
We cannot afford to leave Tennessee behind. We cannot afford to leave Kentucky behind,
Who fed that girl grits?
Alabama behind, Mississippi behind, Georgia behind, South Carolina behind. There is no country when we are split apart.
Yeah.
About a month or two ago, we were in Montgomery, Alabama. Sister
Ooh.
Presley and I were in Montgomery,
Sister.
Alabama.
Sister.
One of the things that we
She's taught
said
her.
was that it is time for the North to roll up to the South.
No, you did that once before.
We will not be chased out of places anymore, brothers and sisters.
You should be.
It is going to take all of us together, rejecting the separation, for us to organize and speak life into one another, because we will see the day where we will turn the crooked path straight.
Thanks for running the rest of my day.
Oh, that shouldn't ruin the rest of your day. And plus, she gave us a shout out to Montgomery. You know, what was that like?
About a month or two ago, we were in Montgomery, Alabama. Sister Presley and I
Sister
were in Montgomery,
Presley.
Alabama. And one of the things that we said
Mhm.
was that it is time for the North to roll up to the South.
That's not a good analogy.
No, and yeah, roll up.
Roll up. You do. Roll them up from the right flank or the left flank.
Yeah. But as Alan Mendenhall brilliantly said, it's so funny how her politics have much more in common with the old populist demagogues back when, the era that she likes to criticize and bring up so much.
Herb
It's
Wallace.
fascinating.
Herb Wallace, man.
Yeah. And it's like whatever. Y'all can they're going to have a difficult time because it's always about the story you tell.
It is.
And I think they're going to have a difficult time continuing to come out of the closet as the full-on socialists.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you have the civil rights movement and it is couched, like read a letter from Birmingham jail. It really is a theological piece of writing. It's brilliantly done. I mean, he's quoting Aquinas, but it is explicitly a Christian religious argument. And I'm sorry, I don't hear that from the North. these days. Now, maybe I'm just a dumb Southerner that just hates people on account of, the fact that she's got a vagina and
That's
that woman
right.
over there's got black
She
skin.
should be barefoot.
And I just can't stand them because they're so different than me. Or perhaps, has much more to do with a nation that wants the fruits of Christianity without the roots of Christianity. And I'm sorry, Alexandria, but when I listen to that sort of, we're going to roll up on the South, that sort of language, that sort of fake cadence, and I compare it to, say, the conversation I listened to the vice president have with Bishop Barron, who's making the religious argument and tying it to America? And are we as a nation going to be a city of God or a city of man?
Think about what you just asked, though, and think about the stark reality that the Democrats are. God is your government. We are your government. We are your God. We will protect you. We will help you. We will assist you. We can't save you, but we will give you what you want. And that's the problem. All of them are baseless.
And Vance made this point to Bishop Barron. He said, you think about the Democrats, and a lot of the leaders, especially the civil rights movement, came out of the black church. And now if you go look at Congress, how many of the leaders came out of the black church? I can think of Raphael Warnock. How much of a leader is he in the Senate? I don't know.
Not much. Yeah.
But that's the one guy I can think of.
That's about it.
And Vance's point, though, was came out of the black church and they're under, say, 65. Because there's a lot of folks that still vote or still active in Democratic politics that, this isn't just ancient history to them. They lived it. At least their parents lived it.
Are you?
So, but it's interesting, like the AOC generation, the millennial generation, they sort of, like, how many of y'all have that foundation
They don't.
that speaks to the American heart in that way?
I don't think they do, because one of the problems is those kind of leaders also adopt the title Bishop of the Inner City Faith Cathedral. Those aren't legit. To me, that's not a legitimacy. The problem is they don't have any tie. I would argue AOC's probably Catholic based on where she came from and her background. But she's one of those. She's maybe a cultural Catholic that goes on maybe Christmas, but maybe not.
Yeah, I don't even I don't even know. I haven't even asked. What's
Let's find out what she is.
AOC religion? Let's see what
Wiccan.
her religion is. She identifies as Roman Catholic.
I figured she
and
would.
frequently credits her religious upbringing for inspiring her progressive political stances on healthcare, climate change, and criminal justice reform.
She's trying to be like Jesus. Mm-hmm.
No, and this is what's going to be fascinating is you're going to have Catholics on either side. But I mean, this is, and I'll just be blunt, especially as I've become more Catholic than I've ever been in my life. And I am realizing that it ain't just words, it's how you live it. And I got a lot of work to do. Every time I start feeling any sort of pride in myself, I mean, there's the litany of humility, but just read the letter of James. It'll make you realize, oh man, I'm slacking.
You're not nearly as good as you
But
should
the
be.
more I understand, at least my understanding of the Catholic faith, is it does not fit neatly between right and left. And honestly, that's a beautiful thing. And in fact, a man that we both share an admiration for, who's going through the veneration process, beatification process, is Fulton Sheen.
Yeah.
Now, if you go look at Fulton Sheen he sounded sometimes more conservative and right-wing than any right-winger today, like based, bro. But then sometimes he would sound like that progressive.
He would.
Talking about the dropping of the nuclear bomb. Essentially, if you do that, is anything possible? Where are the limits going? But he would then tie that to the horrors of abortion. And so
he was brilliant.
Like, J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio can claim to be Catholics. AOC can claim to be Catholics. Biden can claim to be a Catholic, all this stuff. But I think especially I'm noticing within the Catholic Church, the folks, especially the clergy, right now they're the folks running things for the most part who are older, boomers, let's say, tend to be more liberal. There's no doubt about it.
I would agree.
But when you look at the younger priests, and the generation that is coming up, it's just every generation you go back, Gen X, millennial, even younger than that, they're getting more and more and more conservative. And I think there is a return to orthodoxy, which again does not mean that, it means all the time you're going to go Republican or all the time Democrat, but it just means that the church should speak, and this was Vance's point in the interview I watched, the church should speak confidently and not be apologetic about it. Not be of the world and of the culture and speak to the culture. Be the church. And even if you ruffle feathers, even if you turn people off, that is going to serve the whole society much better than, well, we might as well all be secular humanists if we're going to go in a certain direction. It's going to be fascinating to watch.
Please, let's don't do that, Bertrand Russell.
It's going to be fascinating to watch. Anyway, 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. Got to hit this break. We'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Hey there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. Our partnership with Blue Water Broadcasting has reached thousands of listeners in the river region. People listen, people call. Now there's mortgage savings for us all.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
It's interesting, AIC says she's a Catholic. Like, right. I'm looking here at what popes have actually said about socialism, because she's a democratic socialist, right?
That's what she claims to be.
Yeah,
yes.
Pope Leo XIII saying in Rerum Novarum 1891, considered the founding document of Catholic social teaching, which AOC and a lot of Democrats will point to. It's the social justice stuff. This particular papal encyclical explores the injustices of the Industrial Revolution and notes the faulty solutions of socialism, while defending the rights of workers by affirming the dignity of work, the right to private property, and to form professional associations. So essentially, you can have unions, and you can have respect and rights for workers, but the full-on socialist solution isn't great. What is this? Pope Pius the 11th, written on the 40th anniversary of the Pope Leo XIII encyclical. His encyclical directly addresses the failings of socialism and economic liberalism. His verdict: no one can be at the same time a good Catholic and a true socialist.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's mutually exclusive.
So, I mean, there's been time after time after time that socialism isn't just bad economic policy. It's a worldview. It's a system. Socialism requires acceptance of modernist doctrine. So it denies the natural right to private property, reduces the human person to a cog in a collective, usurps the role of the family and civil society, relies on coercion rather than voluntary charity, and replaces God with the state as the ultimate provider.
That's what we just said.
And so you're like, well, what about the poor? Well, we still like safety nets. There's all sorts of things. In fact, I would encourage folks, go listen to J.D. Vance these days. And Ben Shapiro's criticizing him for it. So I think that's going to be a fascinating thing to see the battle over what the future of this republic will be. And hey, it ain't just going to be Catholics.
No.
Though everybody's running for president seems to be Catholic.
It
What
does
is
seem that way.
Josh Hawley, you need to stand up, sir. Anyway, let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Thunder, and I'd like to rumble just a little bit, if I may.
All right.
Alexandria is nothing but a Catholic by convenience. It makes her look good. That's all, because there's nothing else Catholic about her. She is encouraging one end of this country to come down and fight another end of this country.
Amen.
Isn't that kind of like treason? Or is it sedition? Which one is it?
Well, I think what she meant was like, just give a stern talking to, and like, you're wrong, T-Spear. You're just morally bereft, and we from the North must tell you how bereft you are.
And we all know what I would tell her to her face.
What would you say?
Oh, I'm certain of it.
I would inform her she can take her damn narrow Yankee behind back north and never cross that line again, because we do not want her, nor do we need her.
That no,
The Southerners of this country have supported this country ever since that particular war of Northern aggression.
That's right.
And we're going to continue to do so. And if she doesn't like it, I really do not care.
The only thing
She can kiss my...
Well, listen, Thunder, I want to add a little more lightning to your thing. It's a damn Yankee, not just at the Yankee.
Oh, that's fact. That's fact. Because she doesn't want to take anything that the South has done. But anyway, she can just bring it on down here if she really thinks she wants to fight that little dog.
Oh, girl, baby
really
girl.
Don't fight it.
Oh my God, that's great.
Oh, bring it, darling. Bring it.
Bring it.
Anytime you want to, and twice on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Thunder.
Southern
Y'all have
Belle
a good
there.
one. Keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you.
Let's go to Ray Bowles of Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray.
Man, it's been a day.
Yeah.
I mean, these boys have been working. I have to remember sometimes I'm not 18. I can't work like an 18-year-old teenager. On top of this 40-foot dump, and we're trying to move it around, so because the guy said, we can't pick it up like that. And it slipped, and I just about fell off the thing. Now my foot's hurting me, and I came home to get showered. And quit licking me. That's so weird. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, Angie, stop. Angie, come get your dog. Sorry about that.
What's
It's
going,
just
what's
been a
going on
day.
around there, Ray? We need to come down there and help you? Or
Wait,
what?
was a dog licking you?
Yeah, the stupid dog. Angie taught him how to do this trick that he protects, right?
Oh,
Because
boy.
it's a Doberman.
Oh, boy.
It's a male Doberman, big red male Doberman.
Nice.
So she thought it would be funny, or really not funny, but really cool to teach the dog protect. And he runs between your legs and sits with his ears up, right?
That'll hurt me.
But it don't work really well for me.
It's a fall hazard. It's a trip hazard. It's a big-time
It
fall
hurts.
hazard, buddy.
It hurts, and I'm just standing there talking, and he'll run in between me and sit like he's trying to protect me. I've never given him a command, and I'm like, then I'm laying on the floor and he's licking me. I don't know what to do with this dog, guys. I reckon all I can do is love it, and just, yeah. He loves to lick on your feet and your knees. This ad went south. What were we talking about?
You sell carpet, right?
It's a dog days of
We do
that.
sell
Dog
carpet.
days of
We do
summer.
sell carpet.
It's a dog days of
Yeah.
summer. Tell us what you got going on.
Well, I can tell you, Angie's not licking me if y'all thought that was going on.
Not for a second, but and then it was a
I was trying to throw you a bone going, it's the dog days of summer. What kind of crazy deals are going on?
And she's over here looking at me all sideways.
You're in trouble.
Can't believe I just did that on the radio.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But if y'all need floors, call us 285-8117. I'm going to go see what couch I'm sleeping on tonight.
You really did say, stop licking me, Angie. And then you said,
I thought, that's getting
then
weird.
you said,
isn't
get
it?
this dog away
Hey, get
from
this
me.
peanut butter off my chest, would you?
In all honesty, the girls put me up to that last night.
I'm sure they did. Hey, listen, it's like clubbing baby fur seals with you.
Yeah, they're like, Dad, you have to do it. Mom wasn't around, so she didn't hear. Yeah,
Oh,
now
my
she's really
gosh.
looking. Yeah, I might be on the back porch sleeping.
Well, Hope you enjoy the stars.
You better be sleeping on some beautiful flooring out there on that back porch is all I can say.
Yeah. Sailor, I call the big couch. You get the little one.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great day.
You too, Ray. Again, that's 285-8117 for Prattville Carpet, 285-8117. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Troy, the cells on the radio, where you heard them talking to Ray.
About that dog.
About that dog.
That red dog.
We learn anything today?
Learned a lot today. I learned that I think the takeaway here for us is that you and I have talked ad nauseum. You know what Robin says we need to do? We need to record us in between the breaks and hear some of the things.
I don't know about that.
No, edit it, but the things we talk about the spiritual importance.
Oh, fair enough. There.
Living in the world and of the world. It's a reminder.
Yeah, but
Joey.
then there's some stuff of the world that we talk about all
right.
there.
That's usually Eddie and me, but that's fine.
I want your take on this before we get out.
Okay, good for it.
This is Senator Britt. She was on Fox News Sunday, and I think you're going to like this, actually.
Okay, well, I like her.
About this, our hearts and prayers are with our servicemen and women right now. We certainly are thinking about those who have lost their life and their family, and stand with them for just the ultimate sacrifice that they've given our country. You know, when we look at this, I think Lindsey Graham was clear-eyed about this, and I have said over the last week, South Carolina didn't just lose an incredible statesman. The Senate and the nation and the globe lost a leader and a difference maker. Look, he knew what Iran was capable of, and he knew that when they chanted death to America, that they meant it. Look, he believed in President Trump and knew that President Trump had what it takes to create a resolution to what is happening there. He knows that when you are threatened, that you do not respond with weakness, and when you are attacked, you do not retreat. Look, I know President Trump will do what it takes to keep our men and women uniformed safe and ultimately create a resolution to this. But this is why this is so important, Shannon. We know the very same people that are funding Russia and funding Putin's war of aggression are the very same people funding Iran. And front and center in that is China. And so we know by being able to move this bill across the finish line, the bipartisan support that we have gotten to hold Putin accountable, to give President Trump the flexibility and the tools he needs, and the economic firepower to bring Putin to the table, to create peace and resolution here, will ultimately have a lasting impact across the globe, making sure that those who are funding bad actors, whether it be Russia or those in Iran, will be held accountable.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
I thought you'd like that.
You know what I think she could have, and knowing her that she is ultimately the ultimate one-upper in trying to get ahead, she should take the role of Lindsey Graham and become a hawk.
Oh,
I know she is, but I mean, to be more vocal, she did a very good job, and I don't dislike her. I think she's great. There's some things behind the scenes that are different, but listen, I can look past that over our national defense and over our security. The problem is the rest of the Democrats and Republicans can't say that. They would rather see this country fail.
Well,
hey, tell Donna and say, Donna, you're a beautiful woman.
Donna, you're a beautiful woman. Thank you for listening to the show every day. I know you're listening every moment, Donna, and we love you for it.
And that Troy's such a beautiful young man that you
Troy,
created.
that son of yours.
I'm joking.
What a beauty.
We love you, man.
What a beauty. Anyway, we got to get
All
out
right,
of here.
let's go.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew. In Washington, a new investigation underway today in New York with a suspect in custody following an attack outside a federal building. That building houses several federal offices, including the FBI.